Paper has been filed by the city's local government in Milan. And if passed, no more late-night ice cream. Covering 12 districts, proposal would ban all takeaway food, including pizza and drink after midnight, in an effort to clamp down on noisy groups crowding the streets of the Italian city.
She is getting after that going.
Do you start at the bottom like that?
No.
Yeah, all I'm telling you is find you somebody that loves you like she loves ice cream.
Just Photoshop something, please.
Yeah.
So proposal would be effective from mid-May and last until November. It would kick in 12:30 a.m. on weekdays, 1:30 a.m. on weekends and public holidays, applying to outdoor tables only in an effort to clear the streets. There's a lot of places that have like no noise ordinance. They got to shut down early. Like if you go anywhere on 30A, I mean, there's...
But what am I expecting if I'm on Bourbon Street and I'm like, guys, it's just too loud around midnight?
Yeah, exactly.
You moved here, like you know what you're getting.
So they think not selling ice cream is going to help?
They think it's going to deter people from going out to the bars. Let's go get a pizza,
a lot
ice
of
cream.
congregating people on the streets, eating late night afterwards.
I mean, it's a fun time when you're at an ice cream shop. You ever been at an ice cream shop where you weren't having fun?
Have you ever been in one at 1 in the morning though?
Not that I can remember. No, it does seem a bit late.
So, model known for having the world's biggest cheeks has sent people into pandemonium after revealing her fresh-faced look at 26 years old.
So this is the after, because there are no cheeks.
This is the before. Now,
whoa, this is the before?
She's got the biggest cheeks?
No, this is before.
This is before. She
looks normal.
Yeah, she's done some injections. She was not. She said she had a mousy face. So do you think
she doesn't have a bit of a mousy face?
She's 36 now, so this is 10 years ago when she was 26.
Okay.
By the way, she looks older than 26.
She has spent $1,700 on facial injections on herself. Now, the before pictures were taken nearly 10 years ago, paired with the recent pictures after she described herself as a, quote, mouse-like figure. I think she looks about 26 to 30 in that picture.
There is nothing wrong with her right there.
There's nothing wrong with her.
Well, do you think it's going to be an improvement or not?
Well, I know because it's trash. This is going to be disastrous.
Yeah.
All right, you ready?
I mean, I would put a different color lipstick on, but other than that, she looks fine.
You'll see it.
Oh, no.
She did not. That's not
for real.
real.
No.
That's not real.
That is horrific.
That can't be real.
You don't like that?
Girl.
Oh.
It looks like she's wearing a mask.
That can't be
It
real.
really does. I'm with Dunaway. How can we verify this?
That's got to be Photoshopped.
I can't even
over
look.
her real head.
That's tough.
Look.
That can't be her.
She doesn't carry any weight on her face, I'll tell you that.
Boy, I tell you, man.
neck.
It's extensive jawline.
Yeah, I just think that's Photoshop Rockstar because that's too much neck. If we go back to the other picture, yeah, her necks aren't not that long.
Well, but I mean, they've taken.
Can you imagine her coming to her 10-year high school reunion?
Yeah, who is this?
What are you?
Who are you married to?
Yeah.
Okay, finally, man shocked to learn that his wife of 12 days actually a man. A young Indonesian man recently got the shock of his life after learning that his wife of 12 days actually disguised as a woman. Earlier this week, Indonesian media reported the strange case. 26-year-old man, referred to only by his initials AK, ended up calling the police after finding out the woman he had married 12 days prior turned out to be a man in disguise.
I like that he called the police.
Yeah. Man allegedly, what's your emergency?
911, what's your emergency? Do I have a story for you?
I'm being held up.
Who are you talking to? Nobody.
Now, you guys tell me if any of this sounds shaky.
Okay.
The man allegedly met his bride to be on the internet. After hitting it off, the two decided to meet in person. Woman who introduced herself as random name.
I'm Steve.
Would always try to conceal her face using a veil or a hijab.
That's the problem.
Man didn't really think anything of it. If anything, her shyness intrigued him even more, so it didn't take him long to pop the big question. In the end, two lovebirds decided on a discreet ceremony. However, even after the marriage, a woman constantly hid her face, even from her new husband, refused to socialize with his family and friends in his home village, and constantly got out of his attempts to consummate the marriage. Family finally decided to investigate his new wife, discovered that her father was still around. It was he who revealed that she was really a man.
Hey, come here for a second. I want to talk to you while she's in the bathroom.
Hey, I was just so you know, I was standing next to your wife in the restroom.
Yeah.
Standing, being a key
Golf
word.
season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the Intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, the next round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
All right, 3 hours live with you now on a Wednesday. Looking forward to the show. Josh Pate, one of my favorites in the next segment. He'll be with us at 9:25 to talk college football. The guy that hasn't lost at his job in over a calendar year now, Skip Holtz, ends the show at 11:45. Stallions back at home this weekend. TheUFL.com for tickets. TheUFL.com for tickets. So tired of Lance judging books by cover, everybody on their looks and stuff. Walks in and
says
he's like,
one that a friend of ours, this person's on Ozempic, pulling different pictures yesterday.
my buddy Brian Grochelle's in here.
Hey, Brian.
He wants to know, in the whale's ass on the show today, guys?
Hey, as long as it doesn't shit.
I don't even know I forget what that means now. Love me some Brian.
Good luck, man.
Brian
Bad luck if
Groeschel.
I didn't follow it up with that. So
That's
there
right.
you go.
Yeah.
So thanks for being with us. Live show today. We'll get to the NBA playoffs and all that. LT walks in and says, "You boys look like you got golf today." He does. I'm on the meltdown later on. I just have a lot of golf clothes.
Yeah, I told him, Rocky, so he dressed like a golfer for the meltdown, making his debut. He wants to make that impact.
It's going to say, well, I had a tea time today, but you guys asked me, so just in case y'all didn't want me.
Would you not have thought that they were playing golf today?
Yes, I guaranteed it.
I am playing golf today, but
And I still think you'll find your way out on a course.
I will not. I've got 7 rounds of golf in 4 days starting tomorrow.
you got to get ready for it.
What's the
you
difference
think
in 8 and 5?
Yeah, these guys playing the PGA Championship. They're not taking the day off, Jim.
I may go to the range and hit some.
Oh, yeah, you should. But you do that to me a lot. But this is my wardrobe in the summer. I mean, this is how I dress every day in the summer, like I'm going to the golf course.
Yeah, this
Now,
isn't about my shortcomings.
no.
This is about LT's shortcomings.
I have noticed that I think he worries about Brown a lot more than he used to, like your whereabouts, what you've got going on in your life.
Because if I don't know,
noticed
if
that.
I don't keep up with what Brown's going on, I know nothing that's going on up here. Brown is the linchpin to everything. I gotta stay on top of it. Business is business, buddy. It's like knowing who had the hot girlfriend that ended up going to the Freds and Sopranos.
Adriana.
No, but what was the
Chris Maltasante.
Chris had to stay on top of what was going on.
Well, he really didn't.
He wasn't. He didn't. But I'm Chris. If I don't
But
keep
see,
an
Chris
eye
didn't
on
have the insecurities you've got. You're worried that like one day you're going to turn around and you're Tom Landry. You've been blindfolded on the 50 and shot in the back of the head.
That's right. You
And
know who
Jimmy
Jerry
Johnson's
Jones
rolling
is?
in.
This guy.
I don't know why you say that.
You're either Tony Soprano or you're Big P. I don't know who you are. Was that his name?
That was his name.
Pussy. Yeah. Vincent Pastore.
Yeah. So it's
How that
So
guy's
you're not
still
playing
alive
golf
is
today?
amazing.
I watched an episode of Sopranos last night, which I
I
stumbled
can tell,
in. You
yeah.
know which one I watched?
Never gets old. Pine Barrens.
No, it was the one where Christopher goes to Tony and says, "It's Adriana, man." And you have to.
Oh, yeah.
That's
sad.
That was an episode. That was 2 episodes of it right there.
Well, she was really stupid. Look, not to.
It's Adriana, man. She's on OnlyFans. It's crazy.
It's only been 25 years ago, but she should have immediately gone to them and said, "Look, the Fed's trying to shake me down."
Yeah.
You know,
But what do they do? They kill you right there?
Well, no, it's silence. Like you don't know anything. I talked to an attorney a couple of weeks ago, about something. He was talking about a case. He's like, if somebody knocks at your door, it's silence. You don't know anything. You get in touch with your attorney. She should have gone to Tony, and everything would have been better.
Yeah.
So I don't know who our Tony is.
I don't either. But I feel like I'm Christopher. I have to. I'm always.
So who's going to choke you out?
I'm always making bad mistakes, man. Christopher made some mistakes along the way.
I mean, Brown will give you a heads up before you get shot in the back of the head.
I would.
I hope so.
Yes. Now he doesn't think
Bullet,
I will.
runaway
because-
bullet. Oh.
Ooh, sorry.
I'm trying to tell you, you weren't listening.
My finger slipped.
There's nothing Dunaway likes to do more than tear me down. But in the process of that, I've never lost my friendship for him. I would absolutely warn him before he got a bullet in the back of the head.
Yeah, I know you would.
Yeah, but see, and I'm in a different way. There's no way you guys get bullets in the back of the head. I would never let that happen. I would stand with you guys forever.
You know, March, the Ides of March. Caesar thought he was bulletproof.
That's right.
No, I'm just saying.
I wasn't knife proof.
I would stand between the bullet and you guys, and there's the difference.
That's admirable.
And by the way, I found out. Do you guys remember the other day when he was like, "Hey, look, I'm working on something that can make us a lot of money"?
Who?
Dunaway. Do you remember the conversation?
No.
You were like, "I've got an investment."
That is a fake Facebook account. You've got to stop reading that.
No. This has nothing to do with your crypto knowledge. You said it was last week or 2 weeks ago. You were like, "I've got something, and I would take care of you guys if it happens."
Oh yeah, that's the lottery.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was his business plan. He bought a lottery ticket.
No,
I bought lottery tickets.
He didn't say it. Like, I was talking to Steve Powers at dinner, and he's like, "Yeah, Dunaway's on these lottery tickets with me and Patty." And I was like, "Holy hell, that's his plan to get us rich? Is lottery tickets?"
Well, what's your plan to get us rich?
I mean, we got a better chance of finding a wallet in the parking lot that's got
Dude,
like.
did you see the other night in Major League Baseball, the same fan caught back-to-back foul balls in consecutive pitches?
I did see that.
I mean, what are the odds of that happening?
I mean, lottery-like.
How big was the
lottery
crowd?
like, and it happened.
How big was the crowd?
Still, Brown. I don't
Well,
care.
I know
don't
it's
care if
going to
was
the same
one
place.
person. Yeah.
But I didn't know, did he
and,
have-
and he made both catches.
Well, I know, but did he have to run to get it, or did it come right to him both times?
Now you're asking complicated questions.
Well, because you know what I did? I read the tweet and didn't watch the video.
Yeah, me
I was
too.
like, well, I got called.
Me too.
I got called
Yeah,
two
because
foul
it
balls.
could have been, a Pirates game where there's 2,000 people.
That's right, and he had to run
But
to
still,
get it. Yeah.
back-to-back
No,
pitches,
you're right.
foul ball, exactly
You're
the
right.
same place, and the same guy caught it. I don't care if he had to catch it. I don't care if it's the left fielder that's impressive.
Did I tell you the girl that lived across the street from me my junior year, her dad won the lottery twice?
No, you did not.
Yeah.
How big?
And she dated Chipper Jones in high school.
Wow.
Like, was his
Well, she-
steady throughout high school.
Wow. So she moved to Atlanta?
I honestly-
Or no, he was from Jacksonville. She moved to Jacksonville.
She was from Jacksonville.
Oh, from Jacksonville. Okay.
Yeah, I personally think there had to be something involved.
Okay.
Like, no, you got to have algorithms or something. You can't win the lottery twice.
I'm just saying.
Oh, I thought you meant with the girl dating Chipper.
No.
We're back on the lottery.
When Uncle Steve says, "Hey, I'm buying a lottery ticket. You want back in?" And this time I sent him some money, and he and Patty jumped in with me. So we've got the financials worked out. If I'm a little bit more vested than he
good.
is.
Well,
But he picked up the ticket.
Hey, listen, I'm pulling hard for you.
Business plan lottery for me. If I win it, these millions of dollars, and I'm cutting him in, and he's complaining about.
I don't think you
complaining
would,
about the
though.
business.
And I think if you did, I think you would go broke within the first year.
But I'm going to go broke giving people I like money.
Well, you're not Robin Hood.
You don't know that.
Little John.
How could you complain if I gave you money? No,
wouldn't,
I'm not going to give you
But my financial advice to you, for whatever it's worth, would be if you win the lottery, I wouldn't let anybody know about it.
Yeah, we're not gonna broadcast in the show, and we're gonna have a private meeting up here. I've already dreamed it.
Yeah.
I've got cash for everybody.
Boy, these walls are airtight. I'm sure everybody's going to go home and not tell anybody that Dunaway won the lottery.
This group, man, I tell you, you can't do anything nice up here unless people think you're trying to, get them in the back.
I'm not saying there's an angle at all. You're the one that's worried about getting in the back. I'm just trying to give you financial advice.
I hope we win now. I hope I win now, just to prove you wrong.
Well, I hope so too, because the first thing we're going to do is we are going to start a reality show and seeing how quickly you can lose the money. And what we'll do is we'll do like kind of a lottery system where everybody will guess the day or the date, and whoever gets closest.
I may just flip the script. I may not take the one-time payment. I mean, that way I never lose. I'll win that steak from you. I'll never go broke.
Oh, yeah, well, you could go broke. You get turned upside down, absolutely.
Only 1 year at a time.
And then they've got to get in and negotiate a deal to
Then
take
February 1st hits.
Take
Damn it, I'm
your
out.
winnings.
Spin it all.
I tell you, it's nice things. But I'm not playing golf today. I'm on the meltdown. 2:00.
Finally,
Central.
What are y'all
Time.
talking about?
I'm there just strictly for trivia.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were trying to embarrass you, basically. It's going to be
that's
pop culture.
exactly
Yeah.
what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And they keep asking, "Have you been studying? How do you study?" It's just
How
common
do
knowledge.
you study for trivia? Outside of
don't.
Gloria and White Man Can't Jump?
Yep.
You can't, it's everything. It's pop culture. It's geography. It's
I'm
history.
really good about bands, knowing band names, who sings what songs.
You're not.
Actors' names,
You're not.
actresses'
I know.
names, names of movies.
It's gonna go really well.
It'll
It's
be
not all pop culture,
fantastic.
but also if you don't know it, you have a chance to pass. it
pass.
but then
No,
they can
don't-
get it, then you lose points.
Okay, I'm going
right.
to throw
Don't
some
share my
knowledge at
strategy.
you. I watched on Canada Geographic Channel last night, The Hunt
You've got too many channels.
for the, I purposely sought this out, The Hunt for the Greenland Shark, because there is a belief it is the oldest creature.
Yeah, I was living during the Civil War.
Yeah, over 400 years old.
How do they
this
know
shark.
that? Will
Well,
they cut it open to count his rings? How do
like
they know he's
it's
alive?
still alive?
Yeah,
that
it's
one, it's not like...
very old looking.
So
Okay.
they had never, nobody had seen a Greenland shark in its element alive swimming. Fishermen had found some dead, beached, that whole thing. So these two scientists, they go out, they finally find a slew of these Greenland sharks, but they're saying they're as old as 400 years each.
Each of them?
Yeah.
Wow. What does a Greenland shark look like?
They're massive. Anyway, I have my
got a-
trivia
it's got
question.
a
I was going to throw
walker
it to you.
and-
They're about, they can get up to 20 feet long.
Okay,
they're rough looking.
I see it on the screen
Yeah.
here.
But they've got their bite, and I was getting to a point here.
They gum you to death because they have no teeth?
Yeah, good luck. So their top layer of teeth holds the prey. The bottom saws, so the bite circumference is like that of an ice cream scoop. So they've got
Wow. So this is a more painful bite than the great white.
They've
Yeah.
got pictures. I don't know about that, but they've got pictures of whales that they've bitten, and it looks like an ice cream scooper has gone in and just pulled all the flesh out.
Let me ask you this. This is confusing to me. So is this in salt water?
Yeah, well, so they're native to Greenland, but they have made it up some rivers in Canada.
Okay, that's what I'm
But
talking-
nobody's gonna
saltwater
be
rivers?
You're
or-
not gonna. Yeah, you're not gonna have to worry about this. Nobody's swimming in those rivers.
Okay, that's all.
Because they're as
Ice
cold as
cold.
they possibly get.
Okay.
There's also something called a cookie cutter shark, and it does the same thing. It will, because they attack some swimmers. I think the first ever record of cookie cutter sharks, there were 3 attacks in one day on some kind of swim. But anyway, here's my trivia question to you. Which shark has the most powerful bite?
The most powerful bite?
Yeah.
I'm going to stick with the great
Talking about
white.
pounds per pressure.
I'm going to stick with the great white.
That is going to be the great Gulf of Mexico bull shark. It is the most
That is-
powerful jaw.
That is the
Most aggressive.
Yeah, most aggressive, most testosterone is the bull shark.
I'm going to stick with my answer.
It's called the Dunaway shark. I would do the tiger shark.
Tiger shark's got where they can the sawing kind of motion where they can cut through bone and turtle shells. But actually, it's the first descendant of the great white. It's the mako shark, the fastest shark.
Yeah. If I only knew
3,000
I only
pounds.
knew the name of 2 sharks. 3. I knew hammerhead, great white, and bull. I had to choose from that pool. I did not know mako.
How many people have been killed by a hammerhead?
183.
I'm going to say nobody.
0.
Wow.
They
Not
do
a killer,
bother.
huh? He's a
They're
lover,
friendly
Jim.
to humans.
That's
Friendly
right.
to humans.
You pet him on the nose.
Couple of things to get to in our opening segment before we get to Josh Pate, being brought to you by our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. As you get a little bit older, you stop worrying about whether people like you or not. You start worrying about your health. You can stay on top of your health. Early detection is important. Urology Centers of Alabama. Urology Centers of Alabama, 205-930-0920. 930-0920. UrologyCentersAlabama.com. 16 great locations. Wonderful urologists there that'll take care of you. Everything from prostate health to mental health. Prostate health to kidney stones. And they'll take care of you. It's Urology Centers of
Your ass to your
Alabama.
head.
205-930-0920. Hey, Doc, I got a pain in my head.
Right. Well, here.
Yeah.
I'm a proctologist, sir.
Here is a big takeaway from the ACC meetings, their spring meetings wrapping up at Amelia Island. I mentioned some of the North Carolina trustees' comments yesterday. They are now being compared to Florida State's comments, their trustees. Side by side, they look almost identical. 365 days apart. It looks like North Carolina trustees are now in the same boat with the Florida State trustees. We'll talk a little to Josh Pate about the future of the ACC in the next segment. But it was exactly 1 year ago today, according to Brett McMurphy, that the Magnificent Seven, the 7 ACC schools that were questioning whether or not the TV rights, the grant of rights deal was unbreakable or not. They've been testing those water. Clemson and Florida State have filed lawsuits. And now North Carolina, even a bigger hat in the ring when it comes to the ACC, is starting to question the future of the ACC.
Well, Andy Staples made the point this morning. The big difference, like if you look at the quotes side by side, they do look very similar. And as Andy pointed out, though, Lance, the big difference was Florida State appeared to all be on one page rowing the same direction. North Carolina does not appear that way. You've got trustees openly questioning, I guess that was openly, was that like behind the scenes that got leaked or whatever, but questioning the athletics director. So it doesn't appear everybody's rowing the same way at North Carolina.
Well, I think what's going to be comical is I think both the Big Ten and the SEC would rather have North Carolina than Florida State or Clemson.
Zero doubt about that.
Yeah. And I think it is going to be comical when they're plucked in Florida State and Clemson are still trying to figure out their destination.
That was kind of my point yesterday. Like, if the SEC or the Big Ten said, all right, everybody wants to join us, step forward. Not so fast, Clemson and Florida State.
Yeah.
Well, that's the thing. If you're picking on the playground, I mean, like we know the North Carolina brand in basketball is much bigger, but when you start to look at the endowment that North Carolina's got, it's really not even close.
In the media market they bring versus what Clemson and Florida State bring.
Two of them, actually, Charlotte and Raleigh-Durham.
That's right. And that's a much better media deal for you than Florida State or Clemson.
Yeah.
So I don't think there's any doubt North Carolina would be the first pick.
Yeah, and just, I mean, I know why it was this way. Keep in mind, the SEC Network and the ACC Network both based right there in Charlotte.
Yep.
But the SEC Network took over the old ESPNU studios, and they didn't build new ones in Atlanta or Nashville or Birmingham.
Nope.
No, look, I mean, I think it's inevitable. The ACC is dead. It's dead on the vine right now. If you're North Carolina, I think you get out as fast as you can. I'd love to see North Carolina. I mean, since we're at this point now and expansion is inevitable, I'd like to see the brand just for basketball. They're not going to do anything in football, and people will say, oh, they'll be better when they get to the SEC. They couldn't win the ACC in football.
No, they could not. They'll be better than a lot of SEC programs, though. Well, I shouldn't say a lot. They'll be better than some SEC
Yeah,
programs.
I think when, if we...
They won't be at the bottom.
Say we go 18 deep, they'll be better than, 14?
But now do the Big Ten if they went to the Big Ten.
I think middle of the pack.
Yeah, middle of the pack is probably in football. Yeah.
I mean, they're still not going to win the Big Ten.
They're not consistently going to be better than Ohio State, Michigan, USC, Oregon, Penn State. I mean, so
I think that's where they slot in.
Yeah, I think.
We're 5 deep there, so they're probably middle of the pack.
Wisconsin, Iowa.
Yeah, that's where they are.
Yeah, North Carolina is attractive to me by law right now, unless that's breakable. NC State is paired with them, have to go with them now. In the old days, 3 years ago, I always thought North Carolina and NC State would go separate conferences. North Carolina to the Big Ten, NC State to the SEC. Now I don't know if they can legally binding do that or not. I feel like they're a package deal.
Yeah, I don't like the breakups like that. Again, probably inevitable. I know most people don't care. I love the Civil War with Oregon and Oregon State. I like the Apple Cup with Washington and Washington State. Texas A&M and Texas, we've talked about it. We get it back finally. But I missed that game for a while.
If the money were the same or close, which one would you pick if you were North Carolina? I mean, try to put our SEC bias aside and answer that question. Like,
if the money were
the same or close to the same, it's not a financial decision. You've got pretty much the same deal at both.
I think I'd go Big Ten.
No, see, I personally, I take academics out of it. For the academic people, they're going to go Big Ten.
They probably will, but let's take that off the table.
If I take off of it, if I'm just a sports guy going for sports, I'm going with the SEC because of the drivability
of most of your
the
games,
fan experience. Yep. Basketball, I mean, I know you've got some great basketball schools in the Big Ten. I know that, but when you start pairing me up to North Carolina and Kentucky, North Carolina and Tennessee, North Carolina and Arkansas, North Carolina and Texas.
But in the Big Ten, I'm looking at
North Carolina, Alabama, and Auburn.
I got to go play Washington and Oregon and UCLA and USC.
That whole West Coast scares me.
That's
I like connected map.
Yeah. You've got to. I mean, I know we're removing it, but there is no way they remove the academic angle here. So I think the Big Ten is going to be more attractive to them, and I think you can compete more in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
Basketball and football. Now, traditionally, basketball, I know they haven't won a championship since, 2000, but traditionally, the depth of the conference has been better in the Big Ten. I think the SEC is better now, but I think moving forward, as far as winning championships, your opportunity to, I think you've got a better shot in the Big Ten.
All right. One more thing in this opening segment. We've got a lot of college football. Josh Pate in the next segment talking about some on-the-field stuff and off-the-field stuff. The show being brought to you by our friends at Hemp Hill Services. I got one big thing. It involves me being the most moderate person, not the most conservative, most moderate. I'm not a liberal, most moderate person on the show. Right after LT tells us about Hemp Hill.
Well, Jimmy Tite, let me ask you, since you're going on a guys' weekend, I know you're getting out of Birmingham, but I'm sure you've checked the weather this weekend. Any idea?
Chance of rain on Friday, clear and in the high 80s on Saturday and Sunday.
There you go. High 80s. I think it's going to be the mid to high 80s today. Make sure that AC unit ready to keep up with this changing weather. Our friends at Hemp Hill Services, they can handle it. Call Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys today. Whether you experience plumbing, heating, or cooling issues in your home or business, they are ready to serve you. 205-229-2090. Hemp Hill Services, hard to stop a train.
I'm such a moderate on the show. I'm often painted like a liberal because I'm to the left of you guys, but I'm very moderate when I come to my beliefs here. So, you know, I watch. I love women's softball. I try to watch and support women's athletics. A lot of my friends played sports growing up. They were female athletes.
Do you do it for support or because you enjoy it?
I enjoy women's softball.
Okay.
May stop right there. But that sport is entertaining sport for me.
Okay.
My point is, I tried to watch last night Caitlin Clark when I got back from dinner.
All right.
And for my run, I was like, run, dinner. I go to settle in. Start of the fourth quarter of her WNBA debut. So I turn it on. Caitlin Clark's on the bench because she's already had a bazillion turnovers. She scored 20, had 10 turnovers in her debut. Remember, they picked number 1 overall for a reason. They apparently suck. They lost by 21.
Well, that's a lot of
This
turnovers.
is back-to-back years, I think they've picked number 1.
So is she a bust, you think?
Done.
But so I'm watching, and I'm like, well, I at least got to make it until she substitutes in. I couldn't make it. Couldn't make it to wait. I could not make it.
That bad, huh?
Till she substituted in. I could not watch it. I could not watch it.
I hate to admit it,
I could not watch it.
I had it on for a second last night. And you're right. It is there's something about, maybe it's just the college pageantry, but watching her at Iowa, there was something different. That WNBA product is god-awful.
Yeah, Blake is right. There's no way they're going to beat the now the Knicks-Pacers was not much of a better game.
And blowout's going to help that.
Yeah,
but you're right. I mean, LT and I both turned it on, so at some point you get that click.
Yeah.
But I also had the Pacers and Knicks on for almost the entire game.
Yeah. I went,
and it was awful.
I went Caitlin Clark over to watch my Knicks blow out there, and I was like, I think I'm going to watch a end of Florida man or something.
I mean, look, she's going to make her money, but she's going to, as this season goes on, there's going to be a little less viewership, a little less. They're not going to be good this year, so it's not like they're going to make a deep run into the postseason where you could bring that back. Again, I think she's going to be, I don't want to say forgotten for whatever. Like, I was looking at the favorite to win the WNBA MVP, and it's the chick from the Aces. I don't think I've ever heard of her. Asa something?
Asa Martin.
Asa Martin.
I don't think it's Asa. I think
Asa.
I don't think it's.
I know her as Asa. Asa Martin.
If she was in this room, she'd kick your Asa. No doubt about it. Yeah. But there you go. So WNBA last night, I watched it for 4 minutes. Couldn't get Caitlin Clark back in the game.
How was your run?
I think as I was changing, it's a walk.
So did you make it? Let me ask you this: did you make it longer in one full run, as far as like 4 or 5 minutes of a run, or the time allotted to watch?
We got to get to
Caitlin Clark?
Josh Pate, and you got to tell me about Dr. B. But I'll tell you, I have an app where I walk for 2.5 minutes, I sprint for 60 seconds, I walk for 2 minutes, I run for 2.5 minutes.
Oh, you're training for the 1K, aren't you?
3K. Yeah.
Couch to 1K.
Yeah. I'm gonna do a 1.1. I'm gonna have that 1.1 sticker. What if we did that? We came up with some next round 1.1 stickers and put it out there.
That's what we need.
Yeah, or 0.5s, half milers.
Hey, look, if you're starting to thin out, get preemptive on this. Ryan Brown did it just a couple of weeks ago. Go see our friend, Dr. Beckenstein, the absolute best in the business. When I started to thin out, I asked around. Everybody said Dr. B is the man. Went, got that consultation. Since that moment, my hair has more than doubled in thickness. I do that non-invasive treatment 3 times a week, 30 minutes each time on the couch. That is it. Dr. B also offering the Sensus Transdermal Infuser. This enables Dr. B to get various medicines and therapies into the scalp where the hair follicles are without using any injections. This is revolutionary, as Dr. B can pinpoint delivery of a patient's genetically specific products without any needles. Call this number, 205-319-0316, 205-319-0316, or t3hair.net.
Twitter at @TheLanceTaylor.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backrooms go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
The wait is over. Tonali has arrived. Beautifully distinctive Italian styling and performance. Come test drive the all-new 2024 Alfa Romeo Tonali plug-in hybrid at Alfa Romeo of Birmingham. The all-new Tonali offers best-in-class horsepower and torque, fastest 0 to 60 times in its class, plus best-in-class range with full electric charge. And best of all, qualified Tonali leasees are eligible for up to $7,500 EV tax credit factored into your lease. Hurry down to Alfa Romeo of Birmingham and experience the all-new Tonali.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Our 40 and 40 countdown starts today. 40 teams in 40 shows, and we'll get to number one in our preseason ranking voted on by 94 of you. We'll get to that number one team on Friday right before SEC Media Day. So we got one team, little college football, on every show until we're at SEC Media Days in Dallas.
That is all presented by MyBookie.ag. Our 40 and 40 presented by MyBookie.ag. It is 100 days until kickoff. So we will celebrate 100 days until, is that week zero, Dunaway? Is that our countdown?
That's what I count down to, week
100
zero.
days to week zero with our good friend Josh Pate of CBS Sports. Late Kick Josh on Twitter is where you find him, and go like and subscribe to everything he does at Late Kick Josh. What is up, Josh Pate? How are you today?
Compliment time. So you guys know there are a lot of shows out there that are just sports.
Yeah.
And then there are more mature shows that have some depth and layers like you guys. So if I'm going to come on the show, I always turn it on like 30 minutes ahead of time. Let's just get a flavor. Let's try and get a little cheat sheet of what we're going to talk about. So I've got my show notes like written on my hands. I've got some shark stuff over here. I've got Dunaway political musings here. And then up here near the wrist, I've got WNBA trivia. And so I'm ready to go. I got ink all over me, but I'm ready to go. Let's do it.
You got a damn fine T-shirt on, too.
That's right. It's a good looking T-shirt.
I did not plan this. I did not realize I'm wearing this till right now. But yes, look at how good the pectoral definition is because of how soft this fabric is. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, that's a way to sell it there, Pate. Yeah. We like it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can jump in right now, and Ryan Brown may deliver to your home his bracket punishment for finishing second. If you go to the store right now, Ryan and Brown 30, get 30% off what you purchase. You can get that wonderful flag T-shirt, one of our original T-shirts with that soft fabric. right now, nextround.store.
That's right. Real quick, 2 things before we get to football. It has been an active storm season. You've been out storm chasing. Have you seen anything uncommon? Is there something like you've seen storm chasing that you haven't normally seen?
Lightning striking concrete. We had an instance of that. That happened at Hobby Airport the other day, too, by the way. They had to shut down ground traffic for a little while. We have been in 2 nocturnal tornadoes, high precipitation tornadoes. That is not fun at all. So I have no great pictures for you, just near-death experiences. So garden variety spring so far.
Okay, so on that note, random question, but we were at the beach, I think 2 or 3 years ago, down on the 30A Strip, and a tornado touched right by us in Alice Beach. So I was down last weekend in Orange Beach, and there were reports a tornado came through at like 3:30 in the morning. I mean, it was one of those small like hit and goes, but then Brown said his parents were down on Monday. Same thing happened in Destin. My question to you, I remember going to the beach 1,000 times as a kid, never any tornadic weather down there. I'm not calling global warming or anything, but why are there more storms like that? I understand the hurricanes, but what about tornadoes on the coast?
I'm glad you asked me this because often this gets attributed to climatological changing, and really all it is more technology. So you're aware of more of them, and a lot of it's anecdotal as well. You could go to the beach 1,000 times, not see one, and then see one 2 times in a row. First one I ever saw was a water spout that became, an actual tornado. I'm at the airport the other day, though, just to give you an idea of the flavoring I get on this. There's a big tornado that came through just south of Spring Hill here in Nashville. Of course, it's a time I'm at the airport. So I'm following it, trying to get management out of the way because they live down there so I can still have a job. And this lady comes and sits down next to me, peeks over, sees I'm looking at the radar, and then starts to inform me about some information her husband stumbled upon about governmental control of the weather. And I had to sit there and take that because I was delayed for an hour because there was a ground stoppage at BNA. So we're all dealing with it as best we can.
Boy, you're too nice. That's when you could have shut her down, said something crazy ass, or you could have put her in her place and said, "Look, I've been studying this thing forever. Here's the way it is."
I usually
I just pulled the lady. You have no idea, and then I kept on looking at my radar.
I fire back usually. I said it's actually the chip they've been planted right behind your spine in the back of your head that is making you think that right now. Really, we're not controlling that. Yeah, I got to ask you, water spout, tornado, what's the difference? Because I remember in my 20s sitting on the back stairs of the Pink Pony Pub in Gulf Shores, all of us just watching this water spout a few hundred yards off and just sitting there watching it happen while I was drinking my cold Bud Light and talking to a young lady as we just sit there. Is that not a tornado?
Yeah, well, it's a tornado when it comes on land. Forget about that. Whatever became of the young lady?
She got swept away.
Much like that water spout, I shrunk back up into the sky. Did not happen. Okay. Nothing happened. No, but it's just a tornado on the water. It's all a water spout.
That's it. And it comes on land, and it's a tornado, and it counts. And your official count, once it comes on land, you have seen one. So make sure you.
Okay, so what an idiot! Me sitting here watching a tornado on water.
I won't hurt you. It's
was very dangerous. That's exactly what I was thinking.
Are we obliged to ask you a college football question now?
If we have time, yeah.
Well, so we're doing our 40 and 40 right now, and there's a lot of what I would call trendy picks that are going to be in the top 10. From Ole Miss to Missouri, Oregon is one of those. Is there a team that is going to be a massive disappointment that will be a preseason top 10 team? Because, Brown, I don't know if you know the statistic. What is it? Every year we have a top 10 that ends up not in the top 25 to end the season.
Top 10 finishes unranked. We do it every year, Pate, and every year when the AP comes out, we're like, I can't find one this year. And almost every year it's 2 or 3 that are in the top 10 that finish unranked.
I guess the highest risk team would be LSU. Would LSU be a top 10 team to you right now?
For me, right there.
Yeah, it's borderline. But
for me, it was,
All right. So if we're talking about high-risk properties there's certainly a way that LSU ends up being a top 10 wire-to-wire team, but they're not like a high-reward, low-risk proposition. They're high on both ends. I think a lot of attention needs to be paid to the running threat that Jaden Daniels was. Like everyone looks at him holistically. Oh, he's a first-round draft pick. Oh, he's the Heisman Trophy winner. Yes, he was. Okay, well, but we've got Garrett Nussmeier now. Yes, you do. Well, Garrett could be a really good passer. Yes, he could. That's not how football happens. You're looking to replace production, And Jaden Daniels was one of the most productive runners, quarterback or otherwise, not only in the league last year, in the league the last several years, last couple of decades. Like, he had better yards per carry average than Cam Newton did in his Heisman year at Auburn. So even if Garrett Nussmeier is everything that I think he could be, man, they believe in their running game down there, but they better be right about it, is the first point. The second point is they lost some pieces from an historically terrible defense. I don't know that they've just blindly replenished the coffers. I love the coaching hires they made. I think they did as good a job hiring defensively as any team in America. Do they have the players there? Because if they don't, guys, their over-under win total is 9.5. That's the same as Ole Miss and Alabama. So, like, they're expected to do what those teams are. Tennessee as well is 9.5 win total. So, I guess I'd circle LSU as maybe the highest risk team in that group.
I love your on-campus tours as they continue throughout the summer. You were with Sark. We played a little snippet from your show on the air when you were laughing about Arch Manning sticking it out with Texas as he goes into year 2, and that was a really good moment. Can you make a case, and I know we've done this throughout history, but Texas is at the start of what Georgia was in 2017, that Texas could be the next great dynasty about to take off?
Yes, I could. My only question, and it's a total shot in the dark here, so there's no information either way. My only question would be, are the internal dynamics built to sustain long-term? Bama had it under Saban. Kirby has it at Georgia. It is such a rare commodity to have that. I mean, I'm talking about a handful of times in history have you had the perfect storm. Basically, like if we're talking weather, the parameters that have to be in place for a Category 5 hurricane to even form over water, much less make landfall, have to be so perfect. Have James Spann on to talk about this every now and then. They have to be so perfect that even if it happens, it rarely lasts for long. Well, Bama was a Category 5 hurricane for a decade and a half. And Georgia has been one for a while. That doesn't mean you win the title every year, but you're well within reach every year. You give yourself a shot every year. So Texas has entered a window right now. They were in it last year. They'll be in it this year, where they're going to at least give themselves a shot every year. What happens is, I've always called it the consequences of success. You don't find out how good these organizations are by can they get to the mountaintop. Once you get close to it and then you start dealing with the consequences of success, which few ever deal with, then do you sustain it with all the crap that falls in your lap after you start winning? That to me is kind of unknowable, and it's especially unknowable if you're a guy who hasn't done it before. We had seen Saban win before. If Kirby left for 5 years and came back, we wouldn't have much doubt that he knows how to build it. Urban Meyer built it twice and then was the victim of the consequences of success both times. He never sustained it. So that would be my question. Knowing how hard it is to flick a quarter on the table and make it spin for 2 minutes, that's how hard it is to sustain that level of excellence. So I don't know. They'll have the ability. They got all the resources that need to be afforded you, but I don't know.
Josh Pate is with us, CBS Sports. Late Kick Josh is where you follow him on Twitter and his YouTube page and all those things. Go support his show, Late Kick Josh. He's on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline 100 days out from the start of college football. We found out game day's first stop yesterday. We found out the first primetime ABC game. It is Notre Dame at Texas A&M. If the Fighting Irish survive that, and that's going to be a tough trip for them, if they survive that game, boy, you look at that schedule, and it is hard to comprehend, Pate. Oh, you're rubbing your hands. It's hard to comprehend them not being in the college football playoff if they survive that one.
Yeah, I'd say even if it's a close loss, they got a good shot.
Yeah.
If they win it, then everybody's attention, whether it should or not, probably shifts to that Florida State game where they bring the Seminoles into South Bend. And as it stands now, and I could be wrong on this, I think that's the only surefire point spread underdog spot that Florida State may have this entire year as we sit here in the middle of spring. So that will be a really, really good precursor to what I think the next level of conversation is going to be in this sport. And that is when you talk about being a playoff contender. It used to mean a lot because we only have 4 teams. But now if we've got 12 teams, you're going to have 1 or 2 programs out there that become like the Braves were talked about in the 90s. Yeah, you guys can win the division. Like, yeah, you guys get in the playoffs, but you can't win it all. And so there's this different classification of team where the ceiling is merely playoff. And we already kind of talked about Notre Dame that way in the previous iteration, but now surely there will be a second level of vitriol out there and a second level of insult in this sport where you only are capable of making the playoffs. So if they make it this year, great. If that just means they go 11-1 and then they get knocked out in the first round or second round, no one will change their tune about Notre Dame.
For Ole Miss fans, if they don't get to a college football playoff this year, it's going to be a massive disappointment. It is college football playoff or bust. Everybody believes that Lane Kiffin's going to be there, but the fact of the matter, Pate, and you know this, is going into that bowl game against Penn State last year, Lane Kiffin was 1-11 against top 10 teams. And in order, and look, I look at the schedule, they're going to be favored in at least 10 games. That LSU game in Baton Rouge will be around the pick. There'll be a dog at home to Georgia. But outside of that, I mean, this schedule is wide open. But should we believe in Lane Kiffin? I know he's got the roster now, but do you think it translates to a college football playoff appearance?
If it doesn't, it's a failure of a season. And when we're talking about a 12-team field instead of 4, I feel comfortable saying that, especially when we're talking about a program that's just pushed all its chips to the middle of the table. Look, I don't think we have Kiffin scheduled for the show today, but if we had him on and then we inject truth serum into his neck, how does he disagree with that?
Yeah,
I know everybody's on the record goal every year is make the playoff, win a championship. But I mean, if we're being real now, there have been years at Ole Miss where you're trying to win 8 games, you're in a rebuilding phase. This is not one of those years. It is very much a window style program, in that I believe they're the kind of program that needs to build towards this kind of year. But this is the year that you build towards. If they're not in that thing, and guys, I would even argue this, with the nature of a 12-team field, if they just get in the thing and don't do anything in the playoff, I think those folks would consider it a failure of a season. Because all they would have done, let's say, is finish 9th or 10th in the country and don't do anything in the postseason. Well, that's the equivalent of what they've done a few times before. They've finished that highly ranked before. The postseason structure was such that they weren't allowed in. But what would be the difference if they go in the first round and get beat by like Oklahoma or someone like that? I don't know. So I think not only do they have to make it, they've got to at least win a game in the playoff, or else I think those folks look and say, really? Like all that just for this? That's the expectation level we rarely are used to talking about with them.
I know you hate losing conferences like the Pac-12. Different bubbling conversations coming out of ACC meetings from North Carolina trustees now. Do we make it? Do we make it to the start of football season in 100 days without any kind of announcement that somebody's leaving the ACC, in your opinion?
The best guidance I've been getting on this is no, and that's been pretty consistent ever since late last year. There's been pretty guided thought that we hear something or we have something tangible to go on by the start of this upcoming season. Now, you guys know all that's written in pencil. It could very easily change, but even if now I still had to guess, it's blind, but I would guess we know something fairly definitive, more definitive than we have now, about what North Carolina is going to do. I was listening to you guys talk about that, about how the public would view the availability of an FSU, a Clemson versus a North Carolina, versus how conferences view them. I think you're spot on, but I also think that we're in a world where there's going to be shelf space for several of those properties. I'd include Miami in that as well. I think there'll be shelf space in some form, and maybe not just in the Big Two for those. I'll tell you selfishly what I'd love to see. I'd love to see somehow, some way, the Big 12 able to make a move here and snatch several valuable properties that kind of up their status in the overall hierarchy of college athletics, to where we don't just have a Big Two. I would love, if we're going to have this relegated model, I would love at least to have 3 power conferences. I know that's not very feasible, but I still hold out hope somehow, some way.
All right, Josh Pate, we started talking tornadoes and water spouts. We will finish with this. Waffle House took a very bold stand. I have one Dunaway over to this. They took a bold stand yesterday. TPG on Twitter wanted to make sure this came up in our conversation. I have said all along, limp bacon is the best bacon. You say you now fear for Waffle House's future after they have made this stance on social media.
Well, I fear for you as an American red-blooded male to be confidently saying on live air, limp bacon is the best bacon.
Best way to do it.
No, there should be connotations here. Make no mistake, this is not just about breakfast. There should be connotations to a grown man saying this sort of thing.
Yeah.
And anybody who doesn't back me up, this is not a matter of opinion. Some things are. I don't think this is a matter of opinion. I think Ryan Brown has looked at the sky and is saying it's purple. And then is the guy, I got someone in my social circle who's a flat earther, for example.
Right. Yeah.
And they go Kyrie Irving on me every now and then. And then when I argue with them, they go back with everyone's entitled to their opinion. It's not opinion, though. Just like the limp bacon thing, it's not opinion, it's fact. Crisp as can be.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And Dunaway used to be on the right side.
I want him over.
No. Brown likes it practically raw.
Yeah.
I like it chewy now. Chewy. I'm a moderate with my bacon too, just like I am my politics.
That's right. Jim's in the middle of everything.
Give me chewy. I don't like it where it crumbles anymore.
I want to be able to take that piece of bacon, and if I needed to, I want to be able to write a message on the side of a cave. Like I want it to be that crispy.
Oh, I like it to shatter like glass. It is so crispy. And I don't know if you do this. I love to dip it in the syrup.
It's beautiful. How do people not get this? It's beautiful.
Yeah. There's a Chinese takeout place near me that does a tremendous burger, and I get a burger. Yeah, no, I
don't even know who you are anymore. I'm going to be really honest with you.
You just said a Chinese takeout place that does a tremendous burger.
And I got the bacon cheeseburger from there last night, and the bacon was, because I remembered after I saw it, what made me want it was I saw Pate. Saying Waffle House may not make it because they believe in limp bacon. And I remembered, you know what? The bacon on their Chinese takeout burger is limp. So I ordered that burger last night.
Crazy?
Yeah, I gotta walk out on that. I'll see you guys later.
See you, Pate. Thank you. Josh Pate, CBS Sports on the Johnson RV Center.
I am really floored right now. What were you going to say, Roger?
I was going to say they had cheese and bacon, but can you tell me right now one Asian cuisine that has cheese on it? Any type of cheese?
None.
So why do they have cheese there?
Well, for this burger.
And
they
bacon.
do a great cheeseburger.
You think it's blue cheese, but it's just old craft American that is molded up.
I'm as stunned as anybody, but there's a Chinese, is where we get all our Chinese takeout. And some time ago, somebody said, have you ever tried the burger there? I'm like, no. He said, I know this sounds insane. They've got a tremendous burger. I'd never even seen it on the menu. I look on the menu. They've got a section for what they call American food. Chicken fingers, chicken sandwich, burger, and all that. So I was like,
kids menu. That's what
no, it's not the kids menu. It's the actual American food. So I tried it, and it was a fantastic burger.
I'm going to assume with Rocky, it was a family going in there. This is the only way this could go down. And the kids did not want to eat Chinese. Kid wanted a burger. Yep. And you know how we polish off our kids' sandwiches and burgers and all that stuff?
Yep.
And somebody took a bite, and they're like, damn, this is a good burger.
It was an excellent burger.
There's nobody that's going to roll in there and order a burger.
I did. Well, I got a takeout. I never eat in there. I get takeout every time.
Do they have a kid, like a young kid just studying in there?
It's a husband and wife, and they always
always a kid just sitting on an iPad.
No, you're right about that. But it's a husband and wife, and they always seem super pissed off at each other. Like they're arguing all the time in a language I can't understand, but it sounds very angry.
Then they got to go home with each other. How was your day? You were there.
Yeah. Brad, I'm really starting to question your food taste.
It's a phenomenal burger. It's really good.
That is Josh Pate with us on the JohnsonRVCenter.com hotline. We appreciate him talking college football with us. The show being brought to you in part by our friends at Hydra Live LT.
Friends at Hydra Live, I want to remind you, when you go in for any of their services, make sure you mention the next round, and they're going to give you 20% off of any of those great services. IV therapy, B12 injections, cryotherapy, compression therapy, all under one roof. IV therapy treatments are packed with nutrients to increase energy, reduce stress and anxiety, boost your immune system, and much more. Members rewarded with deep discounts. You can save up to 50% off regular pricing for all services. Plus, you receive one free IV bag per month. Ask about the membership benefits. Hydra Life Therapy open 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. 2 locations in Birmingham, Highway 119 in Greystone, also Homewood. For more information, HydraLifeTherapy.com. And while you drop by one of those locations, again, make sure you mention the next round and get 20% off all your services at Hydra Life Therapy.
Laura would like us to order the burger via DoorDash and taste it on the air today.
I don't know what time they open. I've never gotten lunch from there. I've only gotten dinner, so I'm not certain if they're open at lunch, but they could be.
Oh, I bet they open at 11 o'clock.
I'll look.
So are we going better chance of E. coli through that or through Water Park Memorial Day weekend?
Why would there be E. coli in a burger from a Chinese joint?
He's just going stereotypes.
Not cooked well.
Oh, it's cooked perfect. They do it on the flat top. It's like it's very much like a burger you would get at a diner. It's very almost like the old What was that? Green Valley Drug? Did you ever have theirs over in Hoover?
yeah.
It's a lot like that one.
Do they have fries too?
Huh? Yeah. Crinkle cut. That's not my favorite kind, but it comes with a burger.
Yeah, out of the bag then, crinkle.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Yeah, I mean, it's a Chinese.
You think somebody's back
It's
there?
a Chinese joint. I don't
Skin
think
in a
they're
potato.
Skin in a potato. Yeah.
Interesting. All interesting. All right. Skip Holtz with us. Final segment of the show at 11:45 Central. The Stallions unbeaten. Another home game this weekend. You can get your tickets. TheUFL.com, TheUFL.com. Next to last home game in the regular season, and then a playoff game coming up later on in the championship game, the conference championship game. They'll get that because the Stallions have been so dang good. Go watch them. It's a great time. Saturday night, 7 o'clock, Protective Stadium, TheUFL.com, TheUFL.com to go support the Stallions. And, in fact, they got some special events going on this weekend that I want to tell you about. The Stallions do a great job winning on the field, but they do a great job promoting the product as well. The Stallions this week will be honoring against the Roughnecks the Hats Off to Heroes, as they will take time to honor all the local heroes, the first responders, those that have served in the military. And if you purchase tickets, some of that is going to that. So get the tickets this weekend, TheUFL.com, as they go hats off to the local heroes in our lives here in the Birmingham area. With the Birmingham Stallions, TheUFL.com. We're back in a moment.
Follow Brownie on Twitter and Instagram at Ryan Brown Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries, to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand-patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Spring weather is here, and our friends at Hemphill Services are offering a $69 HVAC tune-up plus 10% off any service call when you mention The Next Round. Call Adam, Chad, and the guys at Hemphill Services. Make sure your HVAC unit is ready to keep up with the changing weather. Hemphill Services, locally owned and operated independent train dealer. The team can service all makes and models. For all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs, call Hemphill Services. It's hard to stop a train. 205-229-2090 or hemphillservices.com. That's 205-229-2090, hemphillservices.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Still part of Hour 1 with you with LTD&B, Rockstar, Forrester, Lunsford. Forrester actually off today. Tyler doing a couple of jobs in the back room right now, and Taylor Korn handling everything social media. Our new pennant grace is out. Reaction last night to the Braves win on that social media platform. Like and subscribe them. A new uncorked mailbag out as well. And don't forget the meltdown later today at 2 o'clock. Show being brought to you by our friends at Gutter Cap. Before LT tells you about that, NFL schedule release tonight. ESPN 2, 7 o'clock for that on the schedule release. We keep getting leaks, and I think we'll have everybody's schedule out before it happens.
I hate that.
I know. We got the international games today. I was thankful the Dolphins weren't part of that. I don't know if you guys like your team in international games. I do not.
My team in it. I did not look at it.
I did not see Tampa in there, I don't think. Their word has come out. Netflix has announced they've got the Christmas games. Have you seen that? Netflix has the Christmas games.
For the next few years, right?
The next few years. They've got both of them this time. I think they're only going to have one in upcoming years.
So no over the air.
I think that's correct because what day of the week is Christmas this year?
I don't know.
It's a Monday or Tuesday.
That's disappointing if that is the case.
Christmas Day this year falls on a Wednesday. So you're not going to – I don't think you're going to have a wealth of games anyway, Jim. So it's not going to be like a full day of Christmas.
Tyler, do me a favor and punch us out of that commercial break. Get us back on the air here. There we go. Oh, this is we were still in the commercial break thing rolling. We were talking food earlier. This is Taylor's TikTok last night. Pizza was delivered. I won't give the name.
Oh, I can tell.
Well, it's on the bottom there.
I think she did.
Pizza was delivered last night like that. What do you think happened to that pizza?
Well, it looks like she ordered leftover pizza.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks like the guy got hungry maybe that was driving. He probably was smoking a little weed and got the munchies and just decided that.
Best case scenario, it was at least dropped.
Right?
Yeah.
Oh, at least.
Yeah. Hopefully dropped inside the box. Hopefully not dropped and put back in the box.
Do you think he put a paw on it?
I don't know. Best case scenario is it was at least dropped. Like he was carrying it. It fell out of the bag or something. He picked it up and it just shook up a little bit there.
I mean, the good news was he delivered it to Taylor while she was asleep. So
that's just a still shot. I was in a hurry trying to get that up there. Just we were talking food and that had punched up there. I thought it was crazy that I don't like getting my food delivered by people at the door, but I get it so much now because the kids do it all the time, so I just jump in on their order. I don't like it.
So Leighton has kind of become my new wife when it comes to arguing about where we're going to dinner, and it was like for an hour yesterday. And so she finally hit on, well, we can have pizza delivered in. So had to separately go to market to get food and then pick up pizza for Leighton.
Yeah,
from the same joint.
But you picked it up.
But the pizza looked good. Well, I didn't pick it up, but somebody picked it up.
Our friend,
I paid for it.
Yeah, I paid for it.
Our friends at Gutter Cap. Tell us about Gutter Cap.
205-823-2212. Right now, 45% off the retail price from our good friend Chris Stewart. Look, Gutter Cap, it's a patented aluminum cover system. It fits over most existing gutters. It will keep debris out. You'll never have to clean the gutters again. Cleaning the gutters, dirty, dangerous job. You don't want to get on the roof. You slip, you fall, you snap the neck and die. You're no good to the wife or kids. Cap it. Don't snap it. 205-823-2212 or guttercapbirmingham.com.
Taylor says, exactly, my roommate and I were debating if it was even a full pizza. Oh, I would have been CSI reconstructing to see if it came out to a full circle.
Oh, yeah, I think you have to.
I would have been doing it real quick.
Like, I'm not good at the old the puzzle. I met somebody on the beach the other day, and she's like, yeah, my family's back up at the place. They're doing a jigsaw puzzle. And I'm like, what a waste of time. But that would be the easiest puzzle to put together would be a pizza.
That's right. I would have put that thing together. She was too hungry to put it back together, so you ended up eating it.
I would have eaten it.
Yeah, I mean,
we've got a friend, and he picked up a sandwich from Buc-ee's. I still haven't had a Buc-ee's sandwich.
Oh, they got a good sandwich. They got a good turkey and a good.
He picked up the turkey on Thursday, and we get down there, and there on the bottom of the foil, there's like, it looks like maybe somebody like just kind of scratched the foil was kind of removed. He threw it in the garbage. Wouldn't eat it. Like, dude, you got to pick around that.
I've got a conundrum. Local restaurant here near our studio, one of my favorite meals in Birmingham. Went in there with a friend several weeks ago and found a significant hair in my food.
A significant
hair.
hair.
A significant hair.
That's a significant hair. Yeah.
It's an insignificant.
Well, I think you guys remember on the air when I had a clump of hair in my throat.
A clump of hair is different than significant as a certain body part, you think?
No. Just very long and all wrapped around in my food there, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to take you a while to get over that.
Yeah, I don't know that I can go back.
Yeah,
I
it's
think
hard
you
for me
will.
hard for me to get over the hair.
I love that meal, too. It's one of my favorite meals.
But I've only gotten food poisoning at one local joint, and I go back now.
Okay.
It took me a while to go back.
Well, I mean, Lance was legitimately addicted to the one he found the hair in. I mean, legitimately addicted. Like,
Eight
couldn't get
months
enough of
since
them.
I've had one right now.
Like, would start craving it when the show started. I got to get one of these. Got to get one of these. I mean, it was like he was itching for them.
Don't know why you in on the bowl today? Don't know why you in on the bowl today?
It got a hair in it. It
No,
was
but
like,
it took it from, even when I went back, it was the same flavor, but I can't, when I think about it now, I still associate it with that.
Yeah.
So it's gone from an A to a B, but again, I haven't gone out of my way, and it's been 8 months, so it's not that important. So I hate that for you.
I know, it sucks. I mean, I really like that meal, but I mean, I pushed it aside. I was done with it the minute I found the hair.
Did you tell them?
Nah.
Well, the good thing is he's got to go to with a Chinese takeout burger.
That's right. I
now.
go get a burger now.
That's right. Did you find out if it was open or not?
It opens at 11.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
I mean, I can have one brought up here if you guys want.
I don't know how it's going to travel. I mean, that's a burger.
I got Layton's pizza picked up.
Back it up, Terry. Back it up.
I don't know. I know.
I don't care whether y'all like it or not. I mean, don't get me wrong. Y'all can eat it and dog it out. I don't really care. I like it.
I'm telling you that if we had that burger delivered, the person that would bring it to us would have it here in less than 8 minutes. Surely that would not impact the travel at all.
Oh, that's fine. Order one. It's a good burger.
I don't think we waste money on multiple ones. I think we get it and we divide it in half.
Okay.
And then we put it in a box and we'll deliver it to Taylor with it shaken up in pieces everywhere.
It's a bun.
I mean, there's such a good burger joint out by us that you guys don't like, which I don't understand how you don't like that delicious burger.
Oh, that was the worst one I've ever had. I couldn't even finish it.
Y'all are.
I was like, Lance has championed this burger above all burgers, and it was the driest thing.
And I know this.
Awful.
There's a lot of chefs throughout this community that love that burger as well.
I will tell you, I love so many other things on their menu. I never even make it to the burger. I tried the other things.
So dry.
So dry.
It was almost choked on it.
They put the brisket fat into the burger.
Yeah, they didn't that day.
Two things before we get to the top of the hour. They involve you, Tyler. A couple of graphics. Can I get the new SEC on ABC logo? We've seen the SEC on ESPN logo, but the SEC on ABC unveiled this logo yesterday because we're apparently going to get about 3 games a week on ABC. It looks like, or a couple. So when it's on ABC, it's the SEC on ABC.
It almost looks like the old school Monday Night Football logo, and they just changed the color to blue, dropped in the SEC logo.
Yeah, a little bit there.
Don't love it.
We know what the SEC on ESPN. But Justin Hokanson of Auburn Live, part of the On3 Sports family, friend of the show, sent Brownie and me this picture. Before you put it up, Tyler, you know how they get the Marvel theme covers occasionally? Well, they have a Marvel comic book cover of all the new SEC teams. They unveiled that yesterday. It was a big ESPN showcase where they show what's coming up for the year, and they were talking about ESPN and ABC having SEC football now. So this was a graphic they sent out from Marvel Comics. And I don't know how far you can zoom in on this live, if you can jump in on this at all, Tyler. But if you'll notice, they're all out there doing stuff. They're action figures and stuff. But if you can just point out where Uga's foot is.
I just saw that.
The Marvel comic, Uga's foot is right up Ole Miss's backside.
Yes.
If you look in the top center right there, Uga's foot is just kicking Ole Miss right in the butt.
No, that's not what Hoke was talking about.
Look at the other foot.
It's the other foot, Jim.
I mean, Dunaway, I know you've looked at a bulldog and gone, boy, that dog's got a hog on it.
I see that.
That dog's got a hog on it.
I didn't even notice that part. I thought we were just...
No, Hoke was sending us, look at the other foot. Yeah, the other foot has that interesting placement.
Yeah, well, they are the top dog right now.
That bulldog's missing a right leg.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even notice that. Let me take a look at that real quick.
Yeah, you're going to want to walk over there and get a deep dive into that one there, Jimmy D. Weird placement. Weird placement.
I think that was purposely done.
I think so too.
Yeah.
I think that was like the old Walt Disney comics would occasionally drop things in occasionally. I had not even seen that. I thought we were just talking about kicking Ole Miss in the butt.
Yeah, one of the strange things, it is going to be strange to get used to this partnership and all these new television deals. Our buddy Charlie Vitella sent me the kick time for USC and Michigan, and it said the Big Ten on CBS.
Oh, yeah.
And that is so strange.
I know. They got a pretty good schedule.
They do.
They got 2 games released yesterday. Notre Dame, Purdue on the 14th, and then USC Michigan on the 21st.
2:30 game too.
Yeah,
it.
I want to know how they ended up getting that in the selection process. Whenever we talked to Clad, I want to know how that draft went. All right, there we go. That's our first hour of the show. We'll get into hour number 2 coming up. Later on, Skip Holtz will be with us. But when we come back, we'll unveil our first 40 and 40 team. And then I'll ask the question that LT sort of touched on with Josh Pate. I'll ask this question. Who are some teams that you think will be overrated in our poll, and who are some teams you think will be underrated in our poll, or just in preseason polls in general, not necessarily ours? So we'll get to that coming up. The show being brought to you by our friends at Precision Sports. Precision Sports Medicine, getting you back to work, back to play. Great locations from Jasper all the way through the Birmingham metro area, Alabaster, wherever you are. Check out Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, 205-512-3885, 512-3885. Pickleball craze, if you tweak something, hurt something. Yard work, we're all on the lake right now. Maybe we're skiing or tubing behind a boat or something. You get banged up. Precision Sports Medicine and Orthopedics, they'll diagnose you. They'll fix you. They'll help you with rehab. They do it all. LT and I have used them before. Locations everywhere. Schedule that appointment today. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. PrecisionSportsOrtho.com/2024. This is the next round.
Follow Dunaway on Twitter and Instagram at Jim Dunaway.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You got to look your best to play your best, and our friends at Bandwagon can help your team find the perfect uniforms for that upcoming season. Bandwagon is with you every step of the way, from developing your team logo design to choosing from their multitude of samples. You name the sport, they can make it happen. To get your uniform journey started, you can shoot them a message on any social media platform or check out their website, bandwagonsports.com. That's bandwagonsports.com. Next round listeners, it's time to jump on the bandwagon.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
You could win a Cadillac CT5 or your share of $25,000 in free play and cash at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. The more you visit, the more chances you have to win. Play the latest, most exciting games around with fun bonuses and big jackpots. You can be a winner too. Come win your share during the Cadillac CT5 and $25,000 giveaway at Birmingham Racecourse Casino. Drawings April 5th and 6th. Located off I-459, exit 31, Derby Parkway. Must be 21 or older, must be present to win.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations: Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Follow Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. The social media team at Next Round Live is dedicated to giving you daily news conferences and practice video from UAB, Alabama, Auburn, and around college football. Follow and compare to the sites you used to visit. You'll also get the latest highlights and news from the Next Round Daily Show. Turn on the notifications so you don't miss a thing. Next Round Live on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. See more at nextroundlive.com.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Brown's about to make a big show announcement for us here right after LT tells us about Michelson. Last night in the NBA, Jalen Brunson did it again, 44 points last night. His usage rate I saw in the game last night, post-game, 36%. That means 36% of the time he's taking a shot on a possession.
Well,
that's a lot.
You look, they've got no depth right now. You talk about the most banged-up team left in the postseason, and he's gone 40-plus 5 times this postseason. He has been fantastic. Pacers, I don't know what was going on, just didn't even show up. I mean, they were down 15 at half, down 21 after 3.
I know this is going to sound,
by the way, had the Pacers last night.
Surprising to some, but Draymond Green at halftime, sitting in for Barkley, made a great point about the person. I forget which person was guarding Jalen Brunson in the first half, but he says he was guarding Brunson in the Knicks 2 wins, and then they had somebody taller, bigger on him in the Pacers 2 wins, and he doesn't understand why they switched back, that Jalen Brunson has problem with size.
Yeah.
Because he's undersized, relatively speaking, by
6'2".
NBA terms. And when people with size are guarding him, he struggles a little bit more than normally. And he's lighting this one guy up, and Draymond was confused by this. 373 points he scored in the 11 postseason games. Only Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kevin Durant have done that since 1990.
I think he was talking about when Tyrese Halliburton's on him. And Tyrese is one of the best point guards in basketball, much like Brunson. But Halliburton, bad offensive game last night and was averaging 30 points per game the previous 3 games. So I think that's going to be the key. I fully expect the Pacers to go home and win Game 6. I think we'll get a Game 7 on Sunday, and it'll be a virtual picket.
Jokic goes for 40 points last night, 13 assists. Nuggets win it. They're up 3-2 on the T-Wolves. I did not know until last night he was a second-round pick.
Oh, yeah. And I would ask you guys this with Jokic.
I didn't realize that either, yeah.
I mean, 40 and 13 assists, 7 boards, and 0 turnovers. And to watch what he is so skilled in the post, and his vision, how soft his hands are. He's virtually got every shot in the book, can hit perimeter shots, has got a soft hook. When are we going to start putting Jokic in the conversation of, like, if I asked you right now, who was a better player, Jokic or David Robinson?
Jokic is the better all-around player.
Yeah. Jokic or Tim Duncan?
I'd still go Tim Duncan barely.
I got to go Duncan. Jokic got the better all-around game. Duncan's the better overall player.
I don't know. I think I would go Jokic.
Seth King is on this in the chat room here because of Yahoo Sports. I know this today. Jokic, when his pick was picked in the NBA draft, they were in a commercial break. I'll give you the choices. Was it a McDonald's commercial, a Taco Bell commercial, a Wendy's commercial, or a Subway commercial when Jokic, one of the best players in NBA history, when it's all said and done, another MVP, they were in this commercial break when his pick was selected.
Go Taco Bell.
What were your selections again? Taco
McDonald's, Bell? Taco Bell, Wendy's, or Subway?
I will go Subway.
That was my guess, too. Is incorrect.
I want Taco Bell.
Taco Bell is the correct answer. It was a Taco Bell commercial.
That's crazy to think about.
When they were in a Taco Bell commercial when Jokic was drafted.
Yeah. Can you imagine if, like, you did a redraft with every team and every player was available? I mean, look, I had a conversation with somebody yesterday, and they were talking about this is the best second round of the NBA playoffs they can ever remember. And it has been fantastic. And you think about all these young players, you just wonder, who goes first overall? Is it Wembanyama? Yeah. Is it Giannis? Is it Jokic?
Anthony Edwards?
Anthony Edwards?
Yeah,
Jalen Brunson.
It's so weird the way these series work. I was out chipping balls in the yard last night, and I came back in to watch the end of Pacers-Knicks and then the start of that Minnesota game, and you always can see the end. But when that series was 2-0, I was just sitting there thinking about the start of that game. That series was 2-0. A lot of people are like, I don't know if Denver can win this series.
Yeah.
And now it's just 2-2, and I'm like, I don't think Minnesota can win this series. I mean,
well, now that it's 3-2 Denver,
it's
this thing
definitely
is
over
over
now. Yeah.
Well, Michelson laser vision with that look at what happened last night. Cleveland, Boston, Dallas, OKC tonight.
Yeah, everything going up in price, not for LASIK at Michelson Laser Vision. Dr. Jen, Dr. Mark Michelson have held that price steady for the last couple of years. Do this. Make the phone call that I made more than 2 decades ago, 205-969-8100. Ask for Amy. Tell her the next round sent you. They're going to hook you up with the pre-inflation pricing. Also, hassle-free consultation. 0 to lose to find out if LASIK is right for you. I got the procedure done over 2 decades ago. I still have the 20 2015 vision better than 2020. Make the phone call today. 205-969-8100. For more information, michelsonlaservision.com.
Big news from college football after I tell you, Zach, who's a Spurs fan, Jokic is amazing, but let's get 4 rings in 10-plus years of this. Then we discuss about Tim Duncan.
That's going to be difficult.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that.
He did have 4 rings spread out over 10 years.
That's right.
Yeah.
But Jokic not playing for the organization that is the Spurs, not playing. I mean, Mike Malone is not Greg Popovich. He's not playing with the David Robinson. I mean, he's not playing with the Ginobili, Tony Parker. I mean, Jamal Murray's good. Aaron Gordon's been fantastic this series, but he doesn't have what Tim Duncan had.
ACC Commissioner Jim Phillips wrapping up the ACC spring meetings at Amelia Island. The ESPN contract we have runs through 2036, and we're working internally with them on a piece of the contract. The partnership is not going away or being effective in a negative way at all. It's a look in, and we're handling some of what that states. He says about their ESPN contract. That's from Brett McMurphy today. ESPN could save the ACC if they wanted to by reworking the contract.
If they wanted to, I don't think it makes financial sense for ESPN to do that. I think they're probably paying about what it's worth right now.
Yeah, I don't think they're making any money off the ACC right now. Back to our Josh Pate conversation. I would love what he kind of said. I'd love for the Big 12 to pick off some of these big brands.
Well, the Big 12's in a good place because they've got the parts that nobody wants right now. Right? Is there anybody left in that league that anybody wants?
No, nobody. Like the SEC or the Big 10 would not look to the Big 12 for any single school.
No.
Not one.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I think Houston could be one of those sleeping giants.
Yeah. But they're a long way away from.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, and then Oklahoma State paired with Oklahoma, you bring something with that. But,
not much.
Arizona,
Kansas is a good basketball program, but basketball does nothing in this equation.
Utah's a great football program, but it does nothing.
Does nothing for you.
Had some basketball moments.
No, there's nothing. There's nothing that I think the Big 10 or the SEC would fight you over.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
No, you're right about
that. In a weird way, that gives them some kind of power and stability, doesn't it?
I think it does a little bit. But, if I'm Florida State or Clemson, you obviously want SEC or Big Ten money, but you could be the alpha in that conference. And if they're solidified the third power conference and we only have 3, there's something to that.
My weird analogies, if you're a good-looking person and you're always in that cycle of dating good-looking people and you see, that happy couple that are, both 7s, and they're content and happy dating each other, and they never have any drama, and there's never any breakups. That's sort of what the Big 12 is. They're not the best-looking couple in the world. They're just happy with each other. The Big 12 has become that happy couple down the street with Dad Bob, Mom Bod. And
I would say it's a 7.
Yeah.
But here's the deal.
That's what it is.
But to your point, you're right. There's nobody that they fear somebody picking off. And we're the Big 12. They timed it out right because their media rights were up. They're benefiting from the fact that Fox and ESPN are like, we can't just show the SEC and the Big 10. We've got to have some other games to fill up a day. Big 12's like, here we are.
Yep.
We'll fill up a day for you.
Yep. And when you kill the ACC, we'll take some of those too.
We'll fill up a day for you. We don't mind. What do you got left? You give us what you got left. And for them, it was several $1 billion that ESPN and Fox together had left.
You want us to play on Friday?
We'll do it.
Yep. Late night Saturday? Yep, we'll do it.
And that's why they're going to survive probably over the ACC and the Pac-12.
Yep, absolutely. It's time for our 40 and 40 countdown. We'll do this once a show all the way through. It is brought to you by our friends at mybookie.ag, mybookie.ag.
Yeah, when you go to mybookie.ag, use code NEXTROUND. You'll get a sign-on bonus. You can use it, win once with it. It is yours and yours forever. All the games right there at mybookie.ag. Make sure you sign in to code NEXTROUND. When you sign up for that first time, that way they know you came from us, and they're always going to take great care of you, but they're going to give you a little bit extra coming from the next round because they love you here. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND. Bet anything, anytime, anywhere with MyBookie.ag. Dunaway betting NASCAR race. He didn't even know what track they were on, and he actually won. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND is where he did that. Play the PGA Championship this weekend like I will do. MyBookie.ag, code NEXTROUND.
I'll get to that show announcement in a second, Paul. We got derailed, but it'll come up before the segment's over with. MyBookie.ag, remember, 94 of all of us, mostly viewers and listeners, vote on this. Just real quickly, teams that did not. They got votes but did not make it. Liberty, UTSA, Memphis, Arizona State, Boise, West Virginia, Iowa State, Duke, Wyoming, TCU, Michigan,
Michigan
State.
Oh,
Excuse
okay.
me, Michigan State.
That would be newsworthy.
Appalachian State, Troy, Maryland, Minnesota, Army, New Mexico State, Texas Tech, UCLA, Purdue, Utah State, Florida, Air Force, Illinois, Jacksonville State, Washington State, USF, Georgia Southern, and Louisiana all got at least one vote and did not make our 40 and 40. Let's unveil our first team. Here we go, Tyler. The big board here brought to you by our friends at MyBookie. And at number 40, the Cougs of Houston. LT just mentioned them at number 40. I will say right off the bat here, I love our voters and stuff. They have this so wrong, nowhere close to a top 40 team.
Wow.
Oh, wow. I don't know if I agree with that. The Willie Fritz era begins after 23 wins in the last couple of years at Tulane. You've got what can become a dominant quarterback in Donovan Smith. The problem with Houston, they haven't been able to run the football. Leading rusher last year, Parker Jenkins, 468 total yards. Willie Fritz's teams in 6 years averaged over 200 yards per game in Tulane. They've had different 1,300-yard rushers over the last couple of years. Focus will be running the football. I think it will take a couple of years for Willie Fritz to turn this around. They were a bad 4-8, 2-7 in conference last year. But ironically, I had Houston because I sent you 40 teams at number 40.
Oh, how about that?
But I think this is exactly right.
I think that they don't sniff the top 40. They'll barely get bowl eligible if they do. I'd almost go state bet. They don't get 7 wins.
I think 6-6 is the number.
6-6 is the number. 23 games in 2 years is the nugget on the MyBookie screen there for new head coach Willie Fritz. 23 games in the last 2 years at Tulane. But Brown's about to talk to you about schedule. But I will tell you one thing before Brown talks to you about the overall schedule. You mentioned Donovan Smith. Entire reworked offensive line, a lot of those coming out of the portal. Most of their defense is having to be rebuilt as well. And they were 4-8 last year. You got a total makeover and a schedule that is has a lot of tough road games, Brown.
They better get work done before the bye week done away. When you look at the schedule that they play, it opens with UNLV, and then at Oklahoma is where they go next, and that is obviously going to be a very, very difficult road game for them. Rice at Cincinnati, Iowa State at TCU. You better win some of those games, because once you get past that bye week, Lance, you're at Kansas, you're hosting Utah, you're hosting Kansas State, you got another bye, you're at Arizona, you're hosting Baylor, and you're at BYU. That is a tough finish for Houston.
Yeah, I think they're only going to be favored, at least right now on paper, in 4 games. But UNLV and Rice got to win those games. Let's go on and say they lose Oklahoma. They're 2-1. The 3 games you mentioned, at Cincinnati, Iowa State, and at TCU, all swing games, all right around a pick. If you go 2-1 there, I think you're in a good spot to get bowl eligible.
I'd easily go stake here on them being under 6 wins. Easily go stake here.
I mean, what do you think the Vegas total is?
I mean, the problem is that schedule.
That was why I said we got this wrong.
No, I think their win total's probably 5.5.
Yeah.
I think that's what it is. I mean, coming off 4-8, it was awful last year, but
I think he'll coach his butt off to get him to 4-8 again.
I mean, I
put that schedule up one more time.
I guess the good news is the back half is really brutal, and Willie Fritz should have the team better by then.
Yeah. Here's the schedule again. UNLV, losable game to start with.
Yeah.
Loss at Oklahoma. I'll give them the win over Rice. At Cincinnati, losable game. Give them that one. So they've got 3-1 best case scenario. Iowa State, I think they lose that one, but if not, 4-1. Lost to TCU, lost to Kansas, lost to Utah, lost to Kansas State, lost to Arizona, lose to Baylor, lose to BYU.
Let's just
they
make
don't
it
win again.
Let's make it a
that.
one-game situation. I'll take Houston at a pick against Iowa State right now.
No. I gave you that was a chance for a win there. Houston is our number 40 team, brought to you by our friends at MyBookie, mybookie.ag, Brownie.
Yeah, code next round when you log on right there at mybookie.ag. Get that sign-on bonus. You can bet anything, anytime, anywhere. All those games Lance talking about, whether Houston's a favorite, underdog, pick 'em, they're going to be right there this season at mybookie.ag. Anything, anytime, anywhere. mybookie.ag, code next round. mybookie.ag, code next round. Right now at MyBookie, Boston Celtics, by the way, 14.5-point favorite tonight. Oklahoma City, a 4.5-point favorite. Play those games right there at mybookie.ag.
Teams that are better than Houston, in my opinion, that got votes that did not make our poll. Liberty, Memphis, West Virginia, TCU, Appalachian State,
By the way, I had some of those teams ahead
Texas
of
Tech.
Houston.
Texas Tech.
I had Texas Tech. I had a Houston. But I still think Houston is...
Florida, Air Force, Illinois, USF, all better than Houston. That got votes that did not make our top 40.
I'll give you 3-1 stakes that Houston at least has a better record than one of those teams you said is better.
No. The show rolls on here. When we come back, I'll ask the question about overrated, underrated. We got 4 down still to go, but we got a big announcement here before LT tells us about Odie's. Brownie, would you give everybody the good news about the plan?
I'll do it because we've been asked this a ton in the chat room, and we've got it squared away, and it begins tomorrow at 10:25 and every Thursday at 10:25 after that. Our good buddy Buster Olney is back on the show. We love Buster. You guys love Buster. Rockstar says the nicest guy we have on is Buster Olney, and you guys love him. 10:25 every single Thursday. We'll talk Major League Baseball with ESPN's Buster Olney. So all you that have been sweating us in the chat room on that one, there you go, my friends. You got you some Buster coming back every single Thursday.
Yeah, glad to work it into his schedule there starting tomorrow, and we appreciate that so much. Buster Olney back on the show there. Tell us about Odie's, LT.
2 great locations, the Original and Crestline, where it's Wednesday night, Rocky, and that means...
Trivia.
Odie's Team Trivia, your opportunity to come out if you've never been before. So much fun. You get to see some of Rockstar's live performance. Stop in and see us. Great food from Rodney Davis. Ice cold beers. Beer buckets full of the Bud Light. Stop into one of those 2 locations, but join us tonight. Odie's Team Trivia starts a little after 8 o'clock. Me, Rocky, Will Haver. Get out and join us tonight at Odie's Tavern.
Braves win last night 7-0 over the Cubs. Chris Sale continues to be really good. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings last night. 6:20 tonight, then an off day, and then the Padres in Atlanta this weekend. Ohtani came back and hit one 446 feet. He's not just hitting home runs.
Oh, bombs.
When he hits them, they are bombs.
Yep.
Yeah, he had another one last night for the Dodgers.
I mean, it's crazy.
That's ridiculous.
Yep. And then the weirdest stat, do you agree with me on this, that baseball keeps up with stats more in depth and crazily than any other sport?
And some of them get on my nerves. Like if you have to have 3 qualifiers, like the only guy to have 40 hits, this and this and this and this and this. I mean,
well, it's just like a nerd flex. Like
it
we
is.
have done the deepest dive possible on this one stat.
Here we go. On the 44th game on their schedule for the Florida Marlins, the 44th game on their schedule, they've now won that game 12 straight years. They're now 12-0 on the 44th game on their schedule. They've won it for 12 straight years.
Well, I think it's like, look, I've got to earn my money as one of these researchers, and it's all about baseball numbers.
Yeah.
But like right now, he's got a sandwich in his mouth, and he's going through. Can you imagine getting to like season 7, and you're like, damn, that didn't work.
I know.
You got to start back over.
That worked for nothing.
What's a random pirate stat I can come up with?
44th game. Oh, they won this game last year. Oh, they won it the year before.
I'm going to start counting now.
When do you get excited? Oh, they won it again.
I mean, where can you even say, hey, where can I find the 44th game on the schedule of this team every single year?
You have to do it by check.
Wow.
By hand check there. There you go. Florida Marlins now 12-0, 12 straight wins in the 44th game of the year of the season. Crazy for the Marlins there. But Marlins somehow, despite being a bad franchise, always seems to make the news, usually just playing the Braves. We're back in a moment on TNR, the show being brought to you by our friends at Bud Light. Easy to drink, easy to enjoy. All those folks are just fantastic. I had a chance to hang with some tomorrow. When you get a chance to go to the pool, the lake, or the beach this year, make it a Bud Light. Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy. Back in a moment.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Hey, there's nothing worse than waking up to a plumbing problem. Don't get caught in a flooded house. Call the guys at Hemp Hill Services. Adam, Chad, and the team at Hemp Hill are the only ones I trust to fix it and fix it right the first time. Hemp Hill Services does it right and always at a fair price. For all of your plumbing, cooling, and heating needs, trust the name that Birmingham has trusted since 1954. That is Hemp Hill Services. Call now, 205-229-2090. That's 205-229-2090.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about one of our favorite places for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That is Hamburger Heaven since 1982. Hamburger Heaven has been serving Birmingham's best hamburgers, cheeseburgers, French fries, hand-spun milkshakes, and sandwiches made fresh to order. All of their ingredients are fresh and prepared daily. This includes their beef, always fresh, never frozen, hand-pattied each and every day. For breakfast, lunch, or dinner, visit any of the 4 locations, Highway 280, Irondale, Gardendale, and Homewood.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Every day, someone is ridiculed and mocked for the clothing they chose to wear. It's a harsh reality we all must face. But you have the chance to change all of that with one visit to nextround.store. For just a few minutes of browsing, you will observe so many clothing options, from hats to hoodies to t-shirts. Please, for yourself or someone you love, go to nextround.store and embrace the warmth of true attire.
That bumper always has a little Allman Brothers feel.
Yeah, I agree. I think that every time I hear it. Yep. Is that one of your originals, or is this
No, this is a copyright free. I think it's made to sound like Allman Brothers.
Yeah. Like
Little Midnight Rider.
Like in the description, it's Almond Brothers.
Yeah. Coldplay.
Yeah.
The Next Round rolls on here. We'll talk to Skip Holtz in a little over an hour. You can get your tickets and that souvenir hat if you buy the tickets through theufl.com for this upcoming weekend as we honor local heroes. Hats off to local heroes this weekend at the Stallions game. Can't wait to talk to Skip. theufl.com for tickets.
What are you drinking?
Weekend. What am I drinking?
That was asked in the chat room. I don't know if they mean you said something crazy or if they legitimately want to know what you're drinking.
I don't know if that logo is actually a Houston Cougar fans logo that I was trashing them. They don't belong in our 40 and 40. It's the Body Armor Flash IV. And I go 50-50 mix with this, water and the IV.
Yeah. What flavor is that?
This is grape. Grape. Really good.
Yeah. You drink, you're getting ready for that golf trip.
You ever cut up a little vodka?
Nope. The IV part scares me. But I did what we call them grasshoppers when I was in, we made the name up. I don't know what really a grasshopper is. But we used to put vodka or pure grain alcohol in Gatorade.
Yeah, we called it rocket fuel.
In high school.
Yeah. I mean, it would, I never worried about it go straight to your bloodstream, but I think there was a little bit difference. It does accelerate the process.
Because of the electrolytes.
Yeah. We are Body Armor and Powerade here on the show, Great Coca-Cola Products.
Yeah, this Body Armor IV that you guys are talking about over there is good stuff, the Flash IV. It helps you in the summer if you've been out fishing or working or playing golf or anything like that. All right, we continue on now with some college football conversation. If I ask you overrated, underrated as we get to these preseason polls. The magazine seasons will be coming out as we approach Memorial Day. Phil Steele goes to press in a few days. We'll be getting his top 40 rankings. The AP poll comes out in August. All these SEC and other media days crank up in July. Who do you think is trending to being an overrated and an underrated team in these preseason rankings. One at a time. Just give me your first one that pops to mind.
The first one that pops to mind is Michigan, and because they're coming off of 15-0, and
underrated or overrated?
I think they're overrated.
Yeah.
And you've got a new head coach you're breaking out. I know we saw him as an interim coach, and Sharon Moore won 4 games last year, was 4-0. But I go back to something Pate said about window building programs. I don't know how you guys felt, but I really believed that Michigan was building up to that moment last year. 3 consecutive college football playoffs, 3 consecutive wins over Ohio State, finally winning the national championship. I just think the window, losing 13 players to the NFL draft, is going to be closed a little bit, and they play a real schedule now. I mean, in the past, you look and be like, man, Michigan's got 2 teams. They need to beat one of the 2, and they can get to a college football playoff. That's not the case anymore. You've got Texas and USC just in the month of September, and you've still got Oregon and Ohio State in the final month of November.
Yeah. So I would say this about Michigan. I think their defense is still really, really good, and that's going to win you a lot of those Big Ten games, and that offense can come along. They are not going to win the Big Ten. But I think because of their defense, they will contend for the playoffs.
I think that, I think their ceiling is 10 wins. I think the floor is probably 7 or 8 wins.
Right.
But, I think 8-4 coming off 15-0 is going to be really, really disappointing. And our friend Charlie Vitella, kind of one of our resident Michigan fans, told me yesterday that the 3 of us, he loves us, favorite sports talk show, but said that we're all insane because we have Michigan vastly underrated.
Okay, but you think they're overrated.
I think they're overrated.
They're going to be overrated. Brownie, give me either an over or an underrated team that you think when all these polls come out in the next 100 days, they're going to slide into that slot.
I think it's going to be Ole Miss. I think you're going to see a lot of people have Ole Miss knocking on the door of the top 5. Overrated. Yeah, knocking on the door of the top 5. I was looking at this, Jim, and a game we just haven't spent a ton of time talking about, understandably. Sneaky, under-the-radar key game in the SEC schedule this year is going to be October 26th at Vaught-Hemingway. Oklahoma is at Ole Miss. I could see a scenario where the winner of that game makes the playoffs and the loser of that game probably costs them a playoff spot. Like
that's high. That's high expectations for Oklahoma.
Well, I mean, but a 10-2 Oklahoma team, you'll grant me, is in the playoffs, right?
Yeah, I think this would be a fun exercise. Like the 10 games in the SEC, we can do it whenever, where the loser is out, the winner is in.
Now, the problem...
And I could see that being one of those games.
The problem for Oklahoma is they play Texas, Alabama, and LSU. I mean, Oklahoma's got a really tough SEC schedule. They also play Auburn. They also play Tennessee. That's why I say I see a scenario. I'm not guaranteeing this by any stretch of the imagination, but I could see a scenario where that loss cost Ole Miss a playoff spot, and that win could be the thing that keeps Oklahoma alive for a playoff spot.
I think you can make the case that maybe Oklahoma is going to be one of those teams that is underrated because of their move to the SEC, their schedule. They're going to be in unfamiliar territory, I believe, with the first AP poll, the first coaches poll come out, polls like ours and others. I think they'll be further down that list than where they normally are in the preseason.
Would you guess 15-20, 10-15?
I think 10-15.
10-15 is where you'll find Oklahoma.
I think that's about right.
In the AP poll, you think they'll be 10-15?
I do.
Okay.
I mean, coming off 10 wins.
Yeah. They did take a big step forward last year.
They did. And look, a lot of this is dependent on how good Jackson Arnold is. I would assume he's really good.
Or you don't let Dylan Gabriel walk.
Right.
Yeah, I mean, but listen, the back half of their schedule includes a road trip to Ole Miss, a road trip to Missouri, hosting Alabama, and a road trip to LSU.
That's brutal.
That is a very difficult finish for them.
I will tell you what our viewers thought yesterday when I released mine and y'all released your preseason top 25 that went into our 40 and 40 countdown. They think that Notre Dame will be one of those overrated teams, as Notre Dame often is sometimes. I just believe Riley Leonard is that good of a quarterback as he comes off of a surgery, and I think their offensive line is really good again. I think their defense is really good again.
Look, the offense wasn't really good last year with Sam Hartman, and Denbrock comes in after leading LSU to, 40 points per game and a Heisman Trophy winner. And Riley Leonard is a guy that can do a lot of different things. And you watch Jaden Daniels and his ability to run last year, you'll see a lot of that from Riley Leonard. He's not going to do it to the level that Jaden Daniels did it. But I think, if anything, Notre Dame is going to make the college football playoff. Yeah. How different would the narrative be on Notre Dame this year in year 3 for Marcus Freeman if they would have held on that final play against Ohio State and beaten the Buckeyes?
Oh, very different.
Yeah.
One marquee win like that.
I mean, because I think they would have been, 10 or 11 wins if they would have gotten that one.
Does Louisville start rated? Louisville? Do you think they start ranked?
Close? I don't think so, though.
This will be the opposite of what last year is for me because Louisville's schedule looks totally different.
Well, the point I was going to make on Notre Dame, and I brought this up to Pate, Jim, is if they get past Texas A&M on that first Saturday, that's going to be a tough game for them. I think the point spread, LanceMyBookie.ag, was like around the pick 'em, maybe A&M favored one. Bless you. If they get past Texas A&M, there is a chance the only ranked team left on that schedule is Florida State.
That's right.
Because USC, I don't think there's a guarantee by the end of the year USC is ranked. We'll see. I don't know if Louisville starts ranked. If they start ranked, they'll still be ranked when they play them. I don't see another team on there that could be in the top 25, and that's fairly uncommon for Notre Dame in the schedule they normally play.
Though you say that, and the first two games have been announced, the TV partners, and that Notre Dame at Texas A&M and Notre Dame at Purdue are the two games I've seen. I mean, Purdue shouldn't beat Notre Dame.
They shouldn't.
But it's in West Lafayette, and in my lifetime, weird things happen in West Lafayette.
No, I mean, they've got a history of beating highly ranked teams.
And that's a rivalry game that don't play a lot. It'll be a bigger game for Purdue than it'll be for Notre Dame.
Yeah, but if you think of a Notre Dame schedule where they may only play one ranked team. Now, A&M could be ranked as well, so it might be 2.
Right.
Louisville could be ranked, it might be 3, but there's a shot. Florida State's the only ranked team in that entire schedule.
USC should be ranked at some
I don't
point.
know. By the end of the year, they may not be, though, Jim.
Yeah.
I don't know about USC this year.
Give me another one. Overrated, underrated, that'll be out there.
I mean, I think Florida State.
You think Florida State's underrated?
No, I think they're overrated.
Overrated, okay.
Yeah. I mean, I think most people are going to have Florida State in the top 15.
Yeah. Let me. I'm gonna back you up with just the quarterback. Quarterbacks ask so many questions, right?
Well, I mean, you go back last year when they lost quarterback, it was night and day.
Yeah.
I mean, look, the defense was really good, and you saw that with a lot of guys getting drafted, and that's another one of the problems. Like, I don't know what the depth was like for Florida State last year. Mike Norvell did a really good job last year, but Jordan Travis is gone. Your main players on that defense are gone.
Yeah, but DJ Uiagalelei traditionally has yet to put together a string of great seasons.
Yeah,
great games in a season.
He, to me, strikes me as an 8-win quarterback.
He's an upgrade of who's the guy that was at Georgia Tech, Nebraska, and now at Arizona State? Jeff Sims.
Oh, yeah, he's better than Jeff Sims.
He's better than Jeff Sims, but he's at a better neighborhood Jeff Sims.
Yeah, Jeff Sims is a 5-win quarterback. I think DJ's about an 8-win.
About an 8-win quarterback.
And I think because of that, Clemson could be an underrated team. I don't know how good Clemson is going to be, but here's a chance. All right, there is a chance. Clemson's going to lose that first game likely to Georgia, okay? But then you're going to get in November, and you're going to be like, that's the only loss Clemson has.
That's right.
Clemson's a one-loss team. The only game they've lost to is to number 1 Georgia.
And if they could just get Klubnik to not turn the ball over so much, and they talked all off season about Klubnik not trying to do too much. Let the other talented players around you do stuff. They lose Shipley, but who is the other good Maffa? Is that his name?
Yeah.
At running back, he's back. I thought at times he was a better running back.
And I don't know what was going on with Will Shipley. You'd see a flash, and I think he's going to end up having a better NFL career than he did at Clemson.
But it did seem to me like there were times Maffa was a better running back, or more productive, I should say, running back than Shipley last year.
I just
so
think
that could be an underrated team at Clemson.
I think there's a chance with Clemson you get into November and you're like, you know what, Clemson's only got the one loss. They didn't look great against Georgia, but since then they've beaten everybody they've played. And listen, an ACC champion is going to be in the college football playoff. That could very easily be Clemson.
Our Medical Minute every day is brought to you by our friends at Johnson RV Center, johnsonrvcenter.com. It's not Medical Minute. I should say Mental Health Minute. It is Mental Health Awareness Month, the month of May. And throughout the month, every show, we're giving you a respite, a little mental health minute, thanks to Johnson RV.
Yeah, look, I think peace and joy is so important in life, and there's a lot of people that are stressed out right now. According to the World Health Organization, about 4% of the world's population experiences depression. This rate increases as you get older. Approximately 280 million people in the world suffer from depression, and about 47 million in the U.S. Symptoms of depression can be different between women and men, but the common symptoms are feeling depressed and sad, feeling worthless, feeling a lot of guilt or slow self-worth, thoughts of death or suicide, loss of appetite, difficulty sleeping. If you're experiencing any of these things, really important you talk to your doctor, get out in front of this. Again, it's something that I've battled for the last couple of years, and I think it's really, really good to talk to somebody, get in front of it. May is Men's Mental Health Awareness Month, and it is brought to you by our friends at Johnston RV.
Yeah, thanks to Nick and Kelsey and the entire Johnston family for sponsoring this. It means a lot to us. You can go support them as well. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur. They've repriced everything on both those lots, and they're so confident in their pricing, they will beat any price nationwide on a comparable RV. RV warranty forever. Make sure you got a lifetime warranty on anything new or qualifying used. See more. I-65 exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com. That's JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Rockstar impersonation warning here. Again, if you haven't been with us for a little over 14 years, Rockstar impersonates impersonators. He never tries to be great at his impersonations.
Unless he's doing James Gregory.
He makes an impersonation of people who impersonate people. Right? It's a spoof on impersonation.
Okay.
Do you remember the show? Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Are you? Yeah, I remember Jeff.
Yeah. Give me a little Jeff.
I think I'm going to wear a sport coat and jeans on this one.
How do I know I'm a redneck, Rockstar?
If you think the Nutcracker is something you did off the high dive.
This might be right.
If you
That's my favorite part of it.
go to a family reunion to meet women, might just be a redneck.
Take my money.
A spinoff of Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader is coming to Amazon streaming.
Okay.
20 episodes this summer. Are You Smarter Than a Celebrity is what it's going to be.
Yeah.
And guess who the host is going to be?
Andy Dick.
Andy Dick.
Pauly Shore.
That's what they're changing Uga's name to.
Andy.
I will go. They're going to go female on this. Jenny McCarthy.
Good guess. No, they're going male athlete.
Male athlete.
Blake Gronkowski.
Blake Griffin.
Not Gronkowski. That'd be really good, though.
Yeah.
Who?
Blake Griffin.
Not Blake Griffin. Just retired. Active athlete.
Oh, active athlete.
Aaron Rodgers.
He did like Jeopardy, though.
Yeah.
But,
who was it?
Travis Kelce.
Oh, good. I'm glad he's finally getting some work.
Yeah, boy, this seems like this will be impossible to watch.
Last contract. It's the last contract.
Oh, yeah.
So he is now acting in a movie, right?
It's a new FX television series.
And hosting a game show.
20 episodes hosting a game show that I'm sure will be recorded all in 1 week.
How often do they do their podcast? Is it once a week?
He and his brother,
Okay.
I'll take a shot and give credit at the same time. You guys will get me in the regular season when they started dating that he was not playing well at all. And it seemed like he was preoccupied. Now, once they got to the postseason, he turned it up and was his Hall of Fame self. But you wonder when you start to get these distractions on top of that distraction when it really does affect him long term.
Or if he's just like, hey, listen, I'm dating the single biggest star in the universe.
Yep.
Why don't I cash in on that and start my entertainment career? Because you'll have to admit, Travis Kelce's profile has never been higher than it is right now.
yeah.
Everybody knows who Travis Kelce is now.
Nowhere close to being as high profile as he is now.
My daughter came home the other day. She goes, "Did you see Taylor's 87th show in Paris?" And I was like 87th overall show in this tour? Yeah, it was the 87th overall show. Of course, Travis was there because, Dad, you know that's his number.
Yep.
My daughter knows nothing about sports. And one part of the show, she comes out in a gold crop top with a red skirt on, because it was the 87th and Travis was there. Those are the Chiefs colors.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, my God. Yes.
I mean, I've made the point before. I've got a 10-year-old who can name 4 NFL players: Tua Tagovailoa, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, and Travis Kelce.
Yeah. Dad loves the 3 of those, and the other one's Travis Kelce.
That's right.
What is the average attendance of her concerts, do you think?
Sold out whatever stadium they were playing in
60,000?
Yeah.
So,
60 plus.
60,000?
She's played to over 5.2 million people at 87 shows.
Yep. I will tell you this. While we're talking Amazon Prime, remember we had the writer's strike, so they're looking for content. So these game shows and reality shows are easy. Amazon Prime, another game show, Pop Culture Jeopardy, is going to be streaming Amazon Prime only. Pop Culture Jeopardy. It's sort of like the show that What the Meltdown does this afternoon with their pop culture trivia. Music, movies, sports, and any pop culture. That's the only questions you'll have. Pop culture, I think that would interest me more.
Rock and Roll Jeopardy was awesome. Mark McGrath dominated it.
I would be interested in that. Do we know who's hosting that one? Travis Kelce?
I don't know who's hosting that one, but it is Amazon Prime streaming there. Thought that was some interesting tidbits there from the entertainment world and Amazon Prime. You can also get great stuff from our friends at New York Butcher Shop. LT, as we had the break here, tell us about New York Butcher.
Yeah, stop and see Jim and the fine folks at the New York Butcher Shop. Just fantastic food all of the time. A couple of great locations for you. The original in Cahaba Heights. The newest location out by me, about by us, I should say, where we stop in and go see Jim and that great staff. That's Highway 119 in Greystone. You can pick up those huge deli sandwiches. By the way, I had half of one yesterday. Was brought home to me. Was really excited about that. You can build those from the sandwich station right now at either location. But stop by for the finest and certified Angus prime beef steaks, burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, all natural chicken cut to order just for you with a great selection of fine wines and desserts. New York Butcher Shop, one-stop dinner shop, 2 locations. New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Follow Sean Lunsford on Twitter @JLuntz.
Golf season is here, and if you're looking for a great golf course with affordable rates, you need to check out the newly renovated Woodward Golf Club. Woodward Golf Club is a semi-private club with membership opportunities available, but is also open to the public. You can book tee times online at this hidden gem by going to golfwoodward.com. For only $195 per month, you can enjoy unlimited golf 7 days a week. Membership includes discounted cart fees, unlimited range balls, and the use of our practice facilities. For more information on memberships and the course, check us out online at golfwoodward.com.
Twin Peaks is the best in the game. Here, you're in the red zone for every college rivalry and divisional matchup all season long. I mean, where else are the scenic views as good as your view of the game? Only at Twin Peaks, the #1 sports bar.
Take TNR on the go with a podcast built for your satisfaction. Miss Hour 1? Find it in podcast form. Miss Hour 2? Stream it now. Miss Hour 3? Download it for later. Miss Hour 4? Well, just know it's never coming back. Listen to TNR wherever you find podcasts.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com. Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Maybe you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, X, LinkedIn, or TikTok. While we're changing the game yet again, Tyler's Telegrams has been developed exclusively for you.
Hi, this is the lovable boy you know as Tyler the intern. I'm a businessman now. I will come directly to your door and tell you every time a new piece of TNR content drops. For the low, low price of $740,000, you can be notified by me, one of the biggest stars of the next round, about that thing you missed. Sure, the rest of those social media services are free, but so is radio, and we all know how well that's trending.
Tyler's Telegrams is currently operating exclusively in Bibb County. Other social media platforms are available everywhere.
Mohamed Waghi has his new landing spot. The one-season Alabama player is off to Oklahoma, so he's staying in the SEC. Played in 33 games last year, started 8 of those for the Tide. Averaged 3 points, 2 rebounds a game. Remember, he was at West Virginia before that. He was at junior college before that. So Waghi goes to Oklahoma. Caleb asked, Brown sent you from Anniston. Have you ever played Pine Hill and Cedar Ridge?
Cider Ridge, yes. I've played both of them many times. Pine Hill primarily, a lot as a kid.
What was the name of the course you lived on?
Indian Oaks. Indian Oaks, now closed. But yeah, it was. I grew up on the 15th tee at Indian Oaks. Lived there my whole life.
Well, how old were you in your first hole-in-one?
13, Lance, I believe it was. Yeah, I think it was 13. I have 2 hole-in-ones in my life, both on number 17 at Indian Oaks, same hole. I think I was 13 in one and 15 on the other, if I'm not mistaken. So it's been a minute since I've had a hole-in-one.
Did you know it had immediately gone in? Because you hear stories about people walking up to the green not
Oh,
knowing.
yeah. It was a downhill, so it was a downhill hole, so you could see the green very, very well. The odd thing is there was water to the right, and the play on that hole was to play it left of the pin. But if you played it just right, it would feed down to the hole. So neither shot did I play it at the pin, and both of them just fed down in the hole.
Yeah, almost like getting on the green like a putt and it rolling towards
absolutely.
the hole. Speaking of golf courses, our friends at the Inverness Country Club have a beautiful course out there, and there's opportunities now for you to not only become a member there, but also take advantage of playing great golf courses around America.
Yeah, we had one of our listeners set up a tour yesterday. We appreciate that. When you mention the next round, call Aaron out there today, 205-991-8608. The summer is almost here. You want something to do. There's memberships that fit everyone. The social membership, including that resort-style pool complex, full-service cabana and bar, live music on Friday night, Sunday brunch. They've got sports, tennis, and pickleball, and, of course, golf with a beautiful course, currently expanding that driving range. And if you travel from work or pleasure, ask about the Heritage Plus option, where you have access to courses at 37 other clubs around the country. Childcare, also a huge plus. If you want you and your wife to have a night of dinner right there at the club, you can drop the kid. It will be right there on site with you. You're going to absolutely love that. Play tennis or golf with the wife. They can watch the kid. Best days happen at Inverness. Find your sense of community at Inverness Country Club. Again, to take a tour of this unbelievable club, call Aaron today, 205-991-8608, or online, iccalabama.com.
And the pool is amazing. If you're a young couple with young kids, a great place to call home there. A lot of fun you can have with your family. From 1994 to 2021, that's a long sample size in the NFL. The Super Bowl winner from 1994 to 2021 did not make up more than 13.1% of the salary cap. From 1994 to 2021, the Super Bowl winner did not make up more than 13.1% of the salary cap.
I mean, is that you're talking about the entire salary cap for all 32 teams?
The collective league together?
No, for the champion, the team that won the championship, the quarterback on that roster.
Oh, you never said quarterback. Okay,
yeah.
I got
I thought I said quarterback.
No, you didn't.
Yeah.
Okay.
I thought I said quarterback. The quarterback did not make up more than 13.1%.
I find that hard to believe.
Of the salary cap.
Because, I go back to the last champion you were talking about in 21 was Matt Stafford. Before that, well, maybe Mahomes wasn't on that big deal. Stafford was on a massive deal.
Yeah, but did it make up over 13.1% of the Rams' salary cap? According to The Athletic, it did
I'm
not.
sure they got it right. It's hard to believe that Tom Brady, I know he restructured some of those years.
All the time.
Eli Manning at one time was the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
Restructured it all the time on the years they won the Super Bowl, 94 to 2021. Mahomes changed that in 2022 when he made up 17.2% of the salary cap. 2023 last year, 15.6% of the salary cap. I bring that up because Jared Goff's new number, depending on what the salary cap number comes in, is going to be close to 20% of the salary cap for the Detroit Lions.
That is the one thing I would fear as a Detroit fan, because your backup, I guess, is going to be Hendon Hooker coming into this season. And if something was to, A, happen to Goff, or B, he just kind of regresses, and you've got so much tied up in him. And just in the three players, Penei Sewell, Amon-Ra St. Brown, and now Jared Goff, what is the percentage of the entire salary cap on three players?
Yeah, it just feels like it is so hard in the NFL to do what the Patriots did and what the Chiefs have done. And that is ramp up to a Super Bowl winning team and then keep it there. It feels like anymore when you're like Rockstar's Lions, you get ramped up and you get to that point and you're like, we've only got 2 or 3 years to in this window. We got to do it now.
I think that does show you how good both Tom Brady and Pat Mahomes
There's
are.
no doubt about that. Yep. Like, I feel like Cincinnati is there a little bit too. We talked about it the other day. I know Burrow is going to be good, but they're not going to keep these receivers together. They've already lost one.
When you bring that up, Tyler, if you can give me the Yahoo Sports graphic here of the quarterback salaries right now. Speaking of percentages, Goff is not the top of the list, $53 million a year. This is by annual salary. Joe Burrow at the top of the list, $55 million. So I bet he's trending over our 13.1% of the salary cap. Justin Herbert, $52.5. Lamar Jackson, $52 million. Jalen Hurts, $51 million.
All of those quarterbacks have multiple postseason wins except Herbert, who has 0. I had a weird dream about Herbert last night. I didn't remember it until you guys just brought it up. But I was talking about how overpaid he was based on the fact that he's never won a postseason game.
I was going to say when that graphic popped up, it feels like we pick on Herbert about this a lot, but he is the one that is the outlier on that list because, to Lance's point, Goff's been in a Super Bowl. Burrow's been in a Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson has played MVP level. Herbert can't even win a playoff game. I mean, Jalen Hurts been in a Super Bowl.
Well,
most of those guys are Super Bowl quarterbacks or MVP level, and Herbert can't win a playoff game.
You mentioned wide receivers. Look, and those guys have all had really good wide receivers. You go back to Mahomes last year. Rashee Rice, who knows? He's the Morgan Wallen of football right now. It seems like everywhere he turns around, he gets arrested. But they didn't have great receiver play last year. And they still were able to win a Super Bowl. And you look at Tom Brady, I mean, he had 1 year of an elite wide receiver. I mean, Deion Branch was really good. Edelman was really good. But Randy Moss was the only elite receiver he ever had, and they still won championships.
I mean,
well, the same with Kelsey.
Yes,
yeah. But even Kelsey during the regular season didn't play great last year, to your point. I do feel like what Daniel's saying, Herbert will get his. I think this Harbaugh thing is going to work in Los Angeles. So we'll see. I just thought it was interesting when you go salary cap, because that does limit you on how much you can spend on keeping teams together. Like, it does feel to me like the Bengals are on the verge of falling out of their opportunity to win a championship.
I agree with you. They've already lost one receiver. They're not going to keep all those receivers together.
Yeah, and Deshaun Watson, the Cleveland Browns spent too much money on Deshaun Watson.
They did. It has not. Yeah. They have not gotten the return on that investment. In fact, it's a backup quarterback that did everything for them.
Well, and it feels like to me that this is a big year for the Miami Dolphins.
Oh, zero doubt about it. You've paid a ton for Tyreek Hill. You're about to have to pay a lot for Tua Tagovailoa, and then Jalen Waddle's deal is going to be up.
The one thing I know
you can't pay that many people.
Joe Burrow is an elite quarterback. I would put him close to the category of Mahomes and Brady as far as when he's 100% healthy. So I do think he's one of those teams. Although you lose some talent around him, I still think he's good enough.
I have never, ever I've defended Joe Burrow more than anybody else on this show.
Yes.
But when you think about what he had as receiver at LSU and what he's had his whole pro career at Cincinnati, he has been surrounded by not one, but at least two elite receivers at every level.
He has, but boy,
what does he do if
there's not a weakness outside of being injury prone?
But to your point, if it's down to just Jamar Chase and then some scraps.
Yeah, or even if Jamar Chase isn't there and it's just average wide receiver play. I mean, what was always the big knock on Terry Bradshaw? Well, yeah, but he did it with Swan and Stallworth.
Same with Aikman. I mean, again, that's why it's so unique what Mahomes and both Tom Brady have been able to do, because you guys give me another quarterback that hadn't been able to win without talent.
No, you're 100% correct. Those two guys have done it with pieces a lot of times. Yeah. Now, there was times where Mahomes had good pieces. He's had better pieces than what Brady ever had.
Yeah, I would agree.
Like Tyreek Hill.
Well, Tyreek Hill, just having Tyreek Hill and Kelsey on the team at the same time.
Two different levels right there.
Yeah.
Very much so. Just thought that was interesting. Their schedule released tonight on ESPN2, 7 o'clock, to see when and how your teams roll all the way through. All right, we are to the top of the hour. One more hour to go, including Skip Holtz, who will join the show with us. Show being brought to you today in part by our friends at Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living. I tell you about the weight loss. It's a great way to jumpstart your weight loss with Way to Wellness. It's literally in the name. But the wellness part's what I want to focus on. At least that's what's happened for me. Blood pressure and cholesterol numbers are very different since I met Leslie, who's walking our crew in the video through a little consultation here. Leslie and her board-certified team can give you a free, no-cost consultation. Every plan is designed specifically for you. No cookie-cutter plan. And you can get more details and schedule your consultation by going to aplanforme.com. Planforme.com. Yes, weight loss can be part of it if that's what you want. You decide how much weight you want to lose, and they will make it happen. And there's more than just diet. They've got other things there that can help you lose weight. And they've got a whole plan that'll be designed specifically for you. For a while, I was able to get an injection there that helped me. And there's some other treatments to help you lose some hard-to-lose body fat in certain places. They've got it all there. Planforme.com. Planforme.com. Go check it out. It's Way to Wellness, your journey to healthy living.
Follow The Next Round on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook at Next Round Live.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Hey, let me tell you about our friends at Urology Centers of Alabama. Compassionate and comprehensive urological care with 35 physicians, 17 locations across Alabama. Their patient-centered approach to all of your urological needs. Remember, they've got that new men's health center. It is beautiful, helping men with a wide range of sensitive male issues in a comfortable environment. You can always go online, visit urologycentersalabama.com, schedule an appointment with one of their many urologists today.
There is no better place to watch your favorite sporting events and enjoy great food than one of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons. The TVs are everywhere with your favorite sports, and the menu is second to none. From the great appetizers like the waffle cheese fries to the Avery Island salad, handhelds like the all-new chicken bomber, bistro specialties with a special taste of the bayou, the amazing hand patty burgers, the great po' boys, and the specialty drinks. Visit any of the 3 great Birmingham locations of Walk-Ons: Greystone, Stadium Trace and Hoover, and the brand new location in Trussville.
Start your day online with our website, nextroundlive.com, for the latest videos, podcasts, and college football stories. It's also a great way to stream the show or shop in the Next Round store. Stay connected by visiting nextroundlive.com.
Hey, Lance Taylor from The Next Round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 20/200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them The Next Round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
Storm season is here. Make sure you have a plan of action in place right now. Greg from Pell City and Storm Restoration Roofing should be your first call when storms hit. Insurance companies love working with Storm Restoration Roofing because of Greg Nelson's name and reputation in the industry. When storms hit, call Greg Nelson. He's local, 205-542-3531. He's the home of the free no-cost roof inspection. Greg from Pell City on Facebook, 205-542-3531. It's Storm Restoration Roofing.
It's time to pull the trigger on the Next Round merch that you've been eyeing. We know there's a lot to choose from at nextround.store, so here's a few of our favorite picks. If you want to match LT and Brown, go with the TNR logo hoodie and throw in one of Dunaway's favorite hats. Any of them will do. The Backroom's go-to is the classic logo t-shirt, while my personal favorite is the light blue TNR crew neck. All of these items can be found at nextround.store and are EG approved. Rest assured, your order will be packed with lots of love from us here at the Next Round. Head over to nextround.store to start filling up your cart.
Jim Dunaway, Lance Taylor, Ryan Brown, and Rockstar. Live from the Birmingham Racecourse Casino Studios, The Next Round, presented by Bud Light, is on now.
Final hour of the show always brought to you by Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, champyschicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster. Sterling and the crew down there, man, I'll tell you what, customer service-wise, nobody does it better. They put so much into preparing the food, brined overnight, cooked to order, deep-fried chicken, but the customer service is just as good as the food there. Great staff. Sterling's a great owner. Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster, just off the Alabaster exit. If you're on your way to or from the beach all summer long, swing by there. Take advantage. If you're driving down from Nashville, Huntsville, Chattanooga, all the way down. I know there are other Champy's chickens out there. This is the best one because of Sterling and that crew down there. Highway 119 in Alabaster, champyschicken.com. Developing news in college football. A guy we've talked about a lot this offseason. It started with he and Deion Sanders and the Sanders family going back and forth from Boulder. Where's his next destination, Brownie?
Kermani McLean, the defensive back, is going to Florida, according to everyone that covers it. I think Matt Zenitz of 24/7 was the first to report it. This will be the 13th transfer portal player Florida has added in the offseason, one of the best. He was rated the second corner in the transfer portal. Keep in mind, he is from Lakeland, Florida, so this is actually going back home for him.
And remember, we talked yesterday, it was NIL walk-on was what? I don't know if they're going to free up a scholarship for him, but we talked about that yesterday, Brownie, being an NIL walk-on.
Yeah, which if you don't know what that means, it is new phrase. Basically, I don't need to eat up a scholarship. I'm going to make enough in NIL I can pay my own way, which if, the NCAA isn't already shutting that down, they're going to figure out a way to try to shut that down. But that seems like what we like to call a loophole, Lance.
Yeah, you guys help me out here, but I saw rankings, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago, on top programs and what they've done in the portal, and Colorado was number 2. It seems to me they've lost more than they've gained.
Yeah, I don't know.
They've been bringing in people lately.
Yeah.
And they've got a couple of more guys who are on visits, but McLean was one of the early guys when we were panicking about all the people leaving Boulder, and he was one of the more high-profile guys, so he's going back home to Florida. And he's going to be part of that Gator remade roster that is a huge, huge year for Billy Napier down there, having to get more talent in there. A couple of familiar names. Former Auburn wide receiver Javarius Johnson. He's going to go to UCF. I mean, if you played at Auburn
it's crazy.
And you want to play somewhere else, you don't get a better offer. UCF always leaves the light on for you.
Yeah, is this Gus? There was reports that he got a little lazy in recruiting late. Is this him just saying, hey, look, if they sign with Auburn, they must be good?
Must be pretty good. Come on.
Yeah.
Don't know a ton about him.
Javarius is undersized, 5'10", 175 speedster. And former Alabama defensive lineman Kadarius Perry. Kadarius Perry is Virginia Tech is where he's going to end up. He's been in the portal for a long, long time. Little home and home for you, SMU and Baylor. By the time they play this game in 25 and 26, they may be both Big 12 schools. Who knows?
It could be.
The ACC may not exist by then.
Yeah.
But the SMU is the first year of the ACC starting July 1st. They'll be an ACC school. Baylor is a Big 12 school. They're playing at home and home starting in 2025. That is some college football news there. This hour of the show and our Four Downs brought to you always by our friends at Slice. Slice with 5 locations here locally.
Yeah, the original location in Lakeview, one in Vestavia, right down the road from us. Montevallo, Crestline Park, and now Edgewood. Get in and see the Bajalia Brothers local pizza, local ingredients from the Bajalia Special, the Hot Mama, the Wing and a Prayer. You're going to absolutely love it. Best pizza out there. For more information, slicebirmingham.com.
First down.
Moving forward. More majors for Brooks Koepka or national championships for Kirby Smart.
It's funny you say this. He's my pick to win the PGA Championship this weekend.
Pretty good pick.
He has struggled as of late. Reading some stuff leading into the PGA Championship starting tomorrow. One analyst used the word pissed off. That Brooks Koepka is pissed off and motivated.
He seems like he lives a lot of his life that way, pissed off.
He does.
He's a chip on the shoulder guy. He goes back to his collegiate days when a lot of schools didn't take a shot at him, but Florida State did.
But motivated Brooks Koepka is pretty good.
Yeah, motivated Brooks Koepka can play, and he's done well in the PGA Championship.
He reminds me of Josh Brolin. I think I've said this before. If you were to do a movie on Brooks Koepka, you would cast Josh Brolin and Josh Brolin as Llewellyn in No Country for Old Men. Great role, great movie. But he acts like Bruce Koepka. He looks pissed off all the time.
Because he plays LIV and not PGA Tour, we see far less of Brooks Koepka now. So I only see him in the majors.
And he plays a lot less golf.
Yeah, he does. And it was him or Kirby.
Yeah.
Champion. I think I'd go Brooks Koepka majors moving forward.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. The guy it feels like he's in contention.
I'll tell you what, I would take either side for a steak just for fun.
I mean, how many more does Kirby have in him?
I think Kirby's got 2 more in him.
5 ties Nick Saban for the most of all time.
I would say Kirby's got 2 more in him. Brooks Koepka is probably in his career going to play another 40 majors. Does he play 10 more years, you think?
Yeah, I think so.
That's 40 majors.
So is 10 more years competitive, you think?
I think so.
Yeah,
he's still fairly young. A lot of money to be made out there right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of good golfers, though. I don't have any good college football teams there are other than Georgia right now. I'm going to pass in the stake bet because I got Brooks Koepka winning this year, and there's no guarantee Georgia ever wins another one.
Don't you have Georgia winning it too, though?
I do, yeah.
That's 1-1.
I mean, it's all over the place.
Yeah.
Second down.
Moving forward, more championships, or more major championships. Rory, who hasn't won one in a decade, or Kalen DeBoer, who's never won a national championship at this level.
Oh, interesting. Rory hadn't won one since when, Brownie?
2014.
Yeah,
2014.
Yep.
He's 7-1 odds. Only Scheffler better odds to win it this weekend. But he wins that event before this one so many times. And we talk all the time, especially you do, about how it's hard to win back-to-back weeks on this tour.
Yeah, no, it absolutely is. And it just feels like so many times the guy that comes in playing red hot is never the guy that wins the major. And Rory is playing red hot right now. And a lot going on with him. You know, TMZ reported the story yesterday that Rory had filed for divorce with his wife, which, you know, that's not new to Rory. He's been dealing with that. But now, you know, it's out there, so you never know how that impacts you. Yeah. There's a under the radar controversy going on that involves Rory and Patrick Cantlay, apparently, with the Players Committee on the PGA Tour, which has some people speculating that Rory may say, screw it, I'm going to the LIV right now.
But he's been outspoken against the LIV. He's almost like he's caught in between. He's the guy that's in the middle of the road getting hit by both sides of the traffic.
There's no doubt about it with Rory. So you wonder how all that stacks up, and maybe it makes it play better like it did Sunday. I don't know. I think moving forward, I mean, Rory's getting old, believe it or not. I would still go Rory. These golfers, they get 4 shots a year. That's what makes it so hard to go with a football coach that gets 1 shot a year.
Yep. This is not the one he needs to complete his personal Grand Slam, right?
That's the Masters.
Yeah, the Masters, which he's never going to get.
Less pressure here. So much pressure at the Masters, right?
Yeah.
For him to finish that deal.
Yeah.
Third down.
It is National Chocolate Chip Day here on May 15th. If I ask you guys, what is the best chocolate chip cookie out there?
Like brand?
Yeah, I mean, like, do you have a specific? Is there a restaurant? Is there, like, one go-to? I remember Sky Castle used to have the pan. It was an iron skillet full of a chocolate chip cookie. And
Bluff Park Diner.
You get vanilla ice cream on it?
Bluff Park Diner has this little thing that has, like, 5 big-ass chocolate chip cookies, and you just go, I want that one. They just get a spatula and just put it in the bag for you. It's hot. Oh, my God.
That's my man Brett Hubbard that owns that joint.
It's an amazing cookie.
Brett does a good cookie?
Yeah, that's one of my top 5 I've ever had.
Yeah, I would tell you, Moody softball that night I was there.
They had a good chocolate chip
cookie. They cooked them up fresh
yeah.
right there. If they had a good scoop of vanilla ice cream beside it, I'd have been in heaven.
See, I think it's hard to buy like at a grocery store.
Well,
just because there's so many good chocolate chip cookies
When
out
I was
there.
a kid, you know, Chips Ahoy was the industry standard, and I never liked Chips Ahoy because they were crunchy.
Yeah.
I don't like crunchy cookies. So then Nabisco did something called Soft Batch. You remember those?
Yeah.
And I loved them because they were doughy. It was so soft.
I don't like crunchy cookies, but I love Famous Amos.
Famous Amos is so good.
Cookie.
Because they'll throw a pecan in there, won't they?
Yeah. Oh, my God, it's good.
Well, speaking of which, a little pecan in it. Emily Grace makes hers from scratch.
Wait a minute. EG makes from scratch chocolate chip
brought
cookies?
some last Friday, I think.
From scratch. She brought them last Friday to the show. And they have a little pecan in them, if she told me right.
double cookies that day. It was a fun day.
It was, she making she doesn't open the wrapper, cut them, and bake them that way. She makes them, stir them, all the stuff added.
So, we go to Taco Mama a lot. I know you guys do. Fantastic. Great margaritas. Ready for the watermelon to get released.
It's about that time.
Yeah. But they've got the prepackaged chocolate chip cookies at the front. I've never gotten one, though.
Me either.
They got to be good.
Chocolate chip's my least favorite cookie.
Oh, is it? Well, I'm a white chocolate macadamian. That's my favorite. But I do like chocolate chip. And it is hard to beat, even if it's just Nestle Toll House, put them on the pan straight out of the oven when they're still red hot and they're falling apart. Those are hard to beat right there.
Yeah. One more down here, I think, right?
Yeah, but real quick.
Fourth down.
Jennifer on Saturday mornings does cinnamon rolls, and she undercooks them because that's the way we like them. And I'm the same way with chocolate chip cookies. I like them a little doughy in the middle. I like them undercooked.
Limp. Brown's a limp guy.
I am a limp guy.
You really are becoming that.
I am quite limp.
I am a crunchy guy. I like the edges.
Uh-huh.
Maggie makes this thing called, I don't know why she does it this way, but it's on holidays she'll make a French toast casserole, which is...
It's good.
She apparently doesn't make it on Mother's Day.
Yeah. French toast casserole.
No, it's not on our special menu.
And I never eat the center because it's too mushy.
Oh, see, that's the part I like.
I like the edges. I like it when it's burned.
Yeah. Fourth down.
Fourth down.
I thought we gave a difficult one yesterday. I saw on our poll that George Lucas was smoking Mark Zuckerberg.
Wow, how about that?
How about this? Ray Lewis, 49 today. Emmett Smith, 55. Better career.
Ray Lewis is widely regarded as the best middle linebacker ever to have played the game. Now, some would say Mike Singletary there.
Some would say Dick Butkus.
Some might say Dick Butkus.
Some would say Jack Lambert.
Yeah. Emmett Smith, he still holds the all-time rushing record.
He does.
Even in his day, everybody, I shouldn't say everybody, the debate was better running back Barry Sanders or Emmett Smith.
It was Barry Sanders or Walter Payton.
No, but then for a minute it was Barry
Barry
Sanders.
and Emitt.
Once you got into the 90s.
Yeah. And I used to always say, give Barry Sanders Emmitt Smith's offensive line, and you tell me which one's better.
Barry Sanders.
Yeah.
But
I agree with you.
still think you would consider Emmitt Smith a top 5 running back of all time. You look at, 3 rings for Emmitt Smith?
Yeah, that's an ensemble cast, though.
I know it is.
Yeah.
But we do judge a lot of these guys by rings.
You do. I would go Ray Lewis, though.
I think I would go.
I'm pretty sure Emmitt's never been involved in a murder, so I'm going to go Emitt.
You're clouting your football judgment by off-the-field issues.
Yeah, if you look at football, let's just look at football.
And did he have a roommate that was beaten to death by a bat at Miami?
I don't remember that.
Allegedly, no, he was beaten to death.
Emitt, Emitt in the Arizona Cardinals uniform always bothers me, though. Ray Lewis, he was a Raven.
If we ever have somebody that comes in and hypnotizes, I'm going to get that wiped out of your memory, where you don't have to worry about it
Emitt
anymore.
in the Cardinals uniform, but
so you'll never see it again.
You can't unsee it, though.
You're right.
I'm going to get the clump of hair out of those acai bowls wiped out of your head. That's 4 Downs brought to you by Slice. We got kick times dropping everywhere. We're going to get to some of those right after LT tells us about Hemphill.
Or Slice, which one?
Slice first. And then we'll get to Hemphill.
5 locations. Stop and see the Bajai brothers, created by the late Jeff Bajai. His legacy continues to be celebrated by his brothers, Chris and Jason. Get in, tell them the next round sent you. Get you a slice and a salad today. You're going to love it. 5 locations. For more information, slicebirmingham.com. And if you need to get that AC serviced, our friends at Hemphill Services, those are the guy Birmingham has trusted since 1954 for all of your plumbing, heating, and cooling needs. Call 205-229-2090. Adam, Chad, Andrew, the guys at Hemphill Services. Hard to stop a train. For more information, hemphillservices.com.
Listen, I'm neither Emmitt Smith or Ray Lewis, so when I fumble on the show, just pick up the fumble for me. I appreciate it.
There's something interesting, by the way, in these kick times to me.
Okay, I've got 2, Brownie. You jump in with the other ones. Tennessee and NC State in Charlotte, September 7th. That's that Monday night Labor Day game night. Is that right?
No, this is week 2.
This is week 2. 7:30 Eastern, 6:30 Central on ABC for that one.
Yeah, so this is the ABC Prime game Saturday night. Yeah,
week 2. That's ABC. Then Texas A&M at Florida. I've got that on September 4th. 2:30 on ABC as well.
That is correct. September 14th is going to be red hot. Florida is playing Miami in the middle of the day, week 1. This is week 3, Texas A&M in the middle of the day. They are playing a lot of middle of the day swamp games.
That's why he's bringing in people to the portal. He needs the depth.
I mean, he's going to need it. Georgia, Kentucky has been announced. Prime time, ABC, Georgia at Kentucky. 6:30 primetime ABC game.
What date is that?
That is also September 14th. So here's what you got. September 7th, South Carolina at Kentucky is your 2:30 ABC game. Then Tennessee, NC State is your 6:30 ABC game. So that's your ABC doubleheader from the SEC that day. The 14th of September, Texas A&M at Florida is your 2:30 game. Georgia at Kentucky is your 6:30 game. All these are on ABC. This is not ESPN. This is all on ABC. So this is an indicator of what, people have been asking. Where's ABC going to put their big SEC game? Is it going to be 2:30 or is it going to be 6:30? Well, the first couple of weeks, it's going to be 2:30 and 6:30. You're going to get
both of them.
Yeah, you're going to get ABC.
And by the way, Clemson, Georgia, that first week's at 11 o'clock ABC.
I know.
It's going to be possibly 2 top 10 teams.
Yeah. You already know Georgia, Alabama. It's been previously announced the 28th at 6:30. They also have announced the cocktail party today, 2:30 ABC.
When's the last time that wasn't 2:30?
Well, that's what I was going to bring up. I think the last time it wasn't 2:30 was when they had that major incident. What was it? Was there somebody was driving drunk and plowed through some fans or something like that? Do you remember that?
That's when they stopped calling it the world's largest outdoor cocktail
That's right.
party.
And it was when I think SEC mandated CBS you cannot have this game in primetime. It is a 2:30 because if you'll remember,
it was a drunk fest.
For years.
And look at how they clean it. Nobody's been run over since.
For years, the SEC, one of the first games announced, they would announce like the first 3 weeks, and then they would have the cocktail party.
2:30.
2:30.
CBS.
And that was an SEC mandate. Like, that game is going to be played at 2:30. They cannot have that game at night anymore.
See, I didn't know. I always thought that was a CBS mandate, that there was some kind of tie between CBS and the Georgia-Florida game.
I think the SEC stepped in and said, that is not going to be a night game again. It cannot be trusted to be played at night, and we're not going to do it at night.
Guess what has become consistent? Us not looking forward to that game. I mean, do you think there's going to be a season we go into and we're like, damn, Florida-Georgia's going to be good this year.
Florida-Georgia could decide there's no East anymore.
I know. I wish it would get back good because it is a game I just never anticipate the cocktail party. I really don't.
It ends up usually being I won't say the worst weekend.
Clouds are out.
It's one of them.
14-3, Georgia wins.
One of those weekends I end up watching it because it ends up not being a lot of good games. All right, those kick times are interesting. They'll keep falling out. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go ahead and lay out a sheet. I'll work on a sheet tonight for us all of all the SEC games by week so we can just pencil in when these kick times drop. So we'll have a working sheet here in front of us. What do you think?
No, I'm fine with that. We need it because they are coming fast and furious, and I'm struggling to keep up.
Because I'm thinking we are going to get every kick time for the entire season. Before the season
we're trending
starts.
that way.
In the SEC, you think?
Yeah.
Well, and that has been the promise from ESPN is that, and that was what the SEC promised us. When we go to this ESPN deal and we're not dealing with CBS anymore, we will have kick times well in advance. There will be no more 6-day holds to screw the fans up, and they'll never know when their game's kicking. You're going to know everything well in advance, and so far they've lived up to their word.
Day drive, night drive, spend the night, you'll know in advance.
Yeah.
So far, so good. ESPN and ABC, those continue. Brown will gather his thoughts and maybe give us a recap in the final segment. Trash is coming up next right here on TNR. This show brought to you always by our friends at Champy's World Famous Fried Chicken. Skip Holtz still to come in the final segment as well, champyschicken.com. Highway 119 in Alabaster at the top center of the screen if you're watching us on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and on Instagram. You can get the Mississippi Delta recipe tamales right there. They're perfect to start your meal out or to make them your meal or to take them to a tailgate or anything. Mississippi Delta recipe tamales and all the great Southern fried chicken with Sterling and the crew at Champy's Chicken, Highway 119 in Alabaster.
Take the next round anywhere you go with official Next Round gear. Buy yours today at nextround.store.
This hour of The Next Round is presented by the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, now featuring 7 days of giveaways with your chance to win a share of up to $125,000. The more you visit the Birmingham Racecourse Casino, the more chances you have to win.
Let's face it, a home is one of the most powerful assets you can have, and our friends at Mortgage Right want to help you build wealth through home ownership. Mortgage Right is all about providing competitive rates, a variety of loan products, and a multitude of resources for a seamless home buying experience. They treat their borrowers like family and are always looking to bring more happy homeowners under their roof. See more by visiting mortgageright.com/TNR today and start living. That's mortgageright.com/TNR. NMLS 2239, equal housing lender.
Hang out with the Next Round on the go. Whether you're driving to work, running errands, sitting on the beach, or you just need a break from the real world, we can keep you company. Check out the Next Round, Mystery Fifth Hour, and our other shows on your favorite podcast app. We'll meet you there.
Hey, for all of your IT and printing needs, reach out to our friends at Xerox Business Solutions. Look, I'm still one of those old school guys. I print my notes every single day for the show. If you watch the show here on the Next Round, you see all the notes in front of me. From day one, Xerox Business Solutions, they've been with us here at the Next Round. Local for over 45 years. For all of your IT and printing needs, visit XeroxBusinessSolutions.com or call 205-969-3000. That's 205-969-3000. Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop, rare quality, well-done service.
Hey, you. Summer's here. Time to get hot. And at New Balance Birmingham, that's just what we got. For a summertime vibe, see what's inside. Come together at New Balance Birmingham on Highway 280, right next to Chick-fil-A. New Balance Birmingham, we got now.
Just because you've quit going to the gym, it doesn't mean that you have to quit gym altogether. Dunaway, that is. With our Next Round podcasts open 24/7, 365, you can access gym anytime you'd like. While you may have done away with your treadmill routine, our version of Dunaway is standing by ready to get you back to your absolute best. Find all that lovely Jimmy D-led content on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and in the podcast section of nextroundlive.com. This message is sponsored by Jimmy Crypto Inc. and Jimmy Crypto for President.
Brown is getting his Dolphins schedule leaked here, so making it very personal here, where he won't make fun of LT when he talks about the Rams later on. Tell me more Dolphins news as you react over
Well,
there.
Thanksgiving night, so you know the Thanksgiving Day games. I don't know who they're playing yet, but you've got Lions early, Cowboys late. That's every year. But then that nighttime game is different teams. According to The Athletic, Dolphins at Packers, Thanksgiving night, your Thanksgiving night NBC game, Dolphins at Packers. That's normally, what, a 7:15, 7:20 kick, I think?
This is where I contradict myself because I told you guys yesterday I like the Sunday games the best, but because the Rams have never played on Thanksgiving, I've kind of wanted to see that game.
I had it on a Thanksgiving night one time with the Bucks, I believe. We may have played the Lions one year, too. I can't remember.
Yeah, I think you've played multiple times.
Miami's played a number of times, actually, on Thanksgiving Day, and famously the one where Leon Lett, you guys remember that one, right? On Thanksgiving Day, where Leon Lett screwed up the missed field goal, and the Dolphins got the win out of it.
Yeah. Chuck Dunlap sending out a grouping from the SEC office of the TV games. Are they all ones
That's
we
the
know?
ones I just gave you. Yeah, that's the ones I was reading.
All right.
I should have credited Chuck for that.
You read from that list. Okay.
I did.
Oh, you're going to be one of those people that use his information and not give credit.
It happens a lot.
The show being brought to you by our friends at Storm Restoration Roofing. One more football note before we get to trash after I tell you about Greg from Pell City, huge football fan. But more importantly, he's a fan of getting on your roof and give you an absolutely free roof inspection. No obligation. He gets up there and he finds out if you got any loose shingles or any problems with any fittings and piping up there that could have a water entry point. Just checks out your roof. He'll check and see how old it is. More times than not, he comes down and says, you got 2 or 3 more years left on this roof. It's not as old as you think it is. And people always ask me, well, why is it free? I got to buy from him in the future? No, he just hopes you do, because he's such a good guy and he does such good work. But it's a free, no-cost roof inspection. Let him check it out. 205-542-3531. These thunderstorms that blow through, some did last week, they can cause roof damage. He handles storm repairs as well, works well with the insurance companies. You know what a pain in the butt that can be to file a claim. He helps you with that. He does it all. A-plus rated with the Better Business Bureau. Storm Restoration Roofing, 205-542-3531, or Greg from Pell City on Facebook. The ACC meeting's wrapping up. Jim Phillips is asked about Clemson and Florida State. Can those relationships be mended? He says he believes they can. Do you believe they can?
Money solves a lot of problems. If they can find, and he says they're reworking parts of the deal. Isn't that what he said, Jim?
He says they're talking with ESPN, but trying to answer some questions.
Which probably tells you why North Carolina's starting to beat the drum now, Lance, because they've heard, wait a minute, Clemson and Florida State about to get more money? We're just as important to this league as Clemson and Florida State, so we'll take our money too, thank you very much. I mean, that's the only thing that can solve this right now is more money.
Well, look, I mean, any of these are going to get more money if they bolt. I just don't know how sustainable the ACC is right now.
Doesn't feel
today's arms race. I mean, it's the SEC, Big Ten, and everybody else. I think Dunaway had a good analogy about the Big 12 being a 7. I think they're pretty secure in their place. The ACC is going to crumble.
Yeah, it does seem that way because they've got parts people want.
Well, and anymore, to survive as a conference, you got to have enough members that are dedicated to winning national championships in football. That is what has made the SEC and the Big Ten what they are. Is they're like, we'll spend whatever it takes to win a national championship.
But is the Big Ten any different than the ACC in that?
Well, I think Michigan 100% is there. I think Ohio State is 100% there. I think now, I would say Oregon is there. I think Oregon's willing to spend what it takes to win a national championship.
Yeah,
I haven't done it yet.
I think Penn State is too.
Penn State, yep. So that's more than the ACC's got. I think the ACC's got Florida State and Clemson. That's about it.
And I think
Miami's spending the money.
I think Miami's spending the money.
Maybe they won't even build their own facilities.
Yeah.
It's hard to take.
The rendering looked good.
The rendering did look good. It's hard to take a team seriously as dedicated to winning a national championship if they won't even build an on-campus stadium. You give me a team that is good long-term without an on-campus facility. Name one.
Miami back in the day?
Long term.
Oh.
Yeah. That's why you had to say back in the day, because it was a flash in the pan.
Technically USC.
Yeah.
Well, it's on campus.
It's on campus.
It may not be their stadium, but it's on campus.
Yeah, technically, I don't think it's on the.
Okay, Jim. It is
adjacent
literally next door.
Yeah, I mean,
I was just giving you an example.
They could old school walk over in pads.
Yeah, I mean, it is. The campus is right there at the stadium.
I mean, the only way it survives is if the Big Ten and the SEC decide they want the ACC around. Now, why would you want that? It would be for the good of the game. If they sit there, if Greg Sankey and Tony Petiti are sitting there and they're like looking big picture, is it better for the game, for college athletics, to have 4 major conferences? Or is it better for college athletics to have 2 superpowers?
Yeah, looking at.
I mean, you're going to have 2 superpowers regardless, but is it good to have the ACC and the Big 12, or is it good for us just to absorb the good parts and let them?
I'd rather have 4.
For me as a fan, I'd rather have 4.
I'd rather have 5. I'd rather have the Pac-12 still in existence, but that ship has sailed. I think that's what it comes down to. Yeah. I do. Yeah, I mean, I would agree.
Do we want to kill them or not kill them? I don't know. There's a Game of Thrones analogy in here. Was there a country, or they were not countries back then? Were a group of people that they let them survive just because it was better for everything to let them survive?
Can't really recall that.
But you know what I mean. It's just it depends on whether or not the SEC and the Big Ten want them around to help to have somebody else to play, I guess.
It would be like browning his onions. You always go no onions.
No onions, yep.
See, sometimes I'll leave the cucumbers on a salad.
No onions. Now, but here's where I, contradict myself. I'll eat an onion ring. I don't like onions, but I'll eat an onion ring. Like if you got fried onions on top of a salad, like those, I'll eat that.
No, but will you order onion rings in lieu of fries?
Oh, not at all. No. But if somebody gets a appetizer of onion rings at a place, I'll eat an onion ring.
Yeah,
maybe one.
I like when they got a good reputation. The onion rings are good. I'll get them at our place in Dallas. The
Rodeo Goat.
Yeah, good onion rings. I remember, right?
I don't know that I had them.
Crush a Rodeo Goat burger.
Oh,
right
but too.
Hey, so since we're about to transition to trash, people are talking about Big Earl and this drama that's going on.
Oh, is it going
drama
on?
with Big
I
Earl?
haven't heard. I talked to Dean at the comedy club yesterday because Rockstar told me our friend Gary Owen's coming in town next month. So I've already reached out about getting him on the show.
Single now, right?
Yeah, he is single.
For a little while. He even has a special about it.
I watched the special about it, boy, and that was nonsense. Must have been what we call a nasty divorce. But I talked to her yesterday. Big Earl is coming in November. He's doing a show for the Comedy Club Stardome. But I haven't heard about any drama going on with Big Earl. But
I know there was a beef.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, I'd love for somebody to explain to us what's
going
going on.
Tell us.
All right. There you go. That is some more football news there. Let's do Trash Rockstar. It's brought to you by Mortgage Right.
Thank you very much for giving me this. And I appreciate my fans also. My wife and my girlfriend. My wife. Sorry to say. I'm so sorry, my wife.
LT's Trash is presented by Mortgage Right. Mortgages done the right way.
It is home buying season. Our friends at Mortgage Right, they're here to help. They were veteran founded here in Birmingham, offer loans throughout the country. And while the area they serve may have grown, their commitment to Birmingham and veterans has not changed. Before you take the next steps on a new home purchase or refinance, talk with the team at Mortgage Right. No cost or obligation to find out what you can qualify for. Call them 205-900-7200. That's their Highway 280 office, or you can visit them online, mortgageright.com, NMLS 2239, equal housing lender. Our friend Patty the Office Chick reached out and sent us this story from Disney. I don't know if you guys have seen this yet.
I saw this and it screams trash. I meant to send it to you. I'm glad Patty did.
It's hard to believe where we are in society. But it looks like Disney has removed potentially, quote, problematic character from the park meet and greets. Disney has confirmed that Tinkerbell, a Disney icon since making her first appearance back in 1953's Peter Pan, has been removed from the park's meet and greet rotation, but could still be seen flying over the park at the conclusion of the nighttime fireworks show, as well as in park parade.
What Tinkerbell do?
Well, here's what Tinkerbell allegedly did, or what they're so sensitive about. I don't understand how you can remove her from the meet and greet. You're still going to let her fly over your park.
Well, I don't know what she did. Did she grab somebody's butt so we can just let her fly, but we can't let her make pictures?
So they said that the team found Tinkerbell's character to be both, quote, body conscious and, quote, jealous of Peter Pan's attention.
What?
Yeah.
So based on her role in the actual cartoon, or whatever it is, the story, that's what it is. It's not like something a person dressed up as Tinkerbell did. This is based on her role in the story.
Here's this is a fact of the matter. There's no fat fairies.
I don't remember Tinkerbell enough to remember this being part of the story.
She was really small.
I did kind of like
Julia Roberts was in her movie, but
I did like Peter
I
Pan.
don't know if it because she's sexualized, because she's like has her legs showing, like she's in the cartoon. I mean, like I don't know.
I don't know. I think we've probably overthought this one, right?
Yeah, like, that takes a big meeting.
Not only
we
that,
have animals that talk and don't wear pants. So I would start there and just not worry about it.
They've also flagged Peter Pan for its negative portrayal of Native people and the use of redskins in the film.
Yeah, I've seen that. Yeah. But Tinkerbell, I didn't know Tinkerbell was so threatening. I thought she was safe.
They have a pirate that wants to kill children, but that's okay.
We'll let him go.
I mean, Disney kills off every mom in the opening scene, do they not?
Yeah, you've claimed that. I never noticed that till you pointed it out, but it does happen often.
Finding Nemo, Bambi.
Yeah.
I mean, it happens a lot.
That was 2.
Shrek. Shrek's not Disney.
And there's more. Would you drink a pickly Dr. Pepper?
I've seen this trend. I would not, Lance.
not unless it's in my Coca-Cola ice cold cooler over there.
It is a trend that's dividing the internet. It all started on May 1st when TikTok user who calls herself Mississippi Meemaw posted a video that showed her ordering a Dr. Pepper filled with pickles at a Sonic drive-thru. The video got millions of views and inspired many to give the combination a try. It's not the wildest thing to ever happen to soft drinks.
No, we've got the dirty ones now where you're pouring cream into Cokes and products like that.
Well, a lot of people put the salted peanuts in Coke, right?
I've seen
used
that.
to do that back in the
redneck
days. Yeah, they brought just all that did was add salt to it.
Well,
the peanuts never broke down. It never tasted peanutty. It just tasted salty.
Never know what's going to go viral, though, right?
Well, that's right. I mean, you put a lot of stupid things in there. Coffee. You can put mayonnaise in your coffee and quarterback Kentucky.
Right. But I mean, like this is some random chick.
That's what I'm saying.
I never would have thought that.
You never know what's going to hit.
Yeah, you're right.
Never know.
Well, I guarantee if she put worms in her Dr. Pepper and posted that would have gone viral too, right?
Okay, let's bring in our anime resident expert. That is Tyler from the back row there. Here are some ridiculous titles for anime shows. And you let us know what these mean, if you've seen them, what it's about. The first one, I want you to make a disgusted face and show me your underwear.
I've never heard of this one.
That's what the picture should be.
That's what it translates to?
Yeah, well, that's what the show is called. All these are called weird. So I did a little research, and now my computer's going to be in trouble because this whole show, from images I saw, is literally these girls like in little schoolgirl skirts and showing their underwear. Like I don't know if it's like a sexual thing.
Wait a minute.
No, I'm saying but I don't know who these shows. You don't know who they're targeting.
Okay, here's another.
And we're worried about Tinkerbell.
No, bring back Tinkerbell.
Here's another ridiculous title for anime. If I don't successfully pick up 420 girls, I'm going to die in a lot of different ways.
Tyler?
I've never heard of that one, but that sounds like a sort of dungeon crawler sort of thing.
Yeah, I was going to say the same thing.
Yeah.
It sounds dungeon crawler.
Dungeon crawler is right.
Here's another one. Bo, 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 bo.
So this one was actually really popular about 15, 20 years ago. It was a huge Shonen Jump property.
Is that actually the name of it?
Yes, it's called Bobo, 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 Bobo. I'm not sure how many bows there are.
I was very close there.
But it was on 4Kids TV back in the day.
Oh, okay.
The next one, anime title, I, My, Me, Strawberry Eggs.
That looks like it's for girls, Tyler. Yeah, I don't either.
I don't know. I mean,
wow.
Boy, that's quite the look. Another one, I Want to Eat Your Pancreas.
I've heard of this. This is actually really popular. I haven't seen it, though.
It looks like a true love story.
Friendship blossoms when opposites attract. I Want to Eat Your Pancreas. Coming to a theater near you.
Day after Christmas is Not Under the Tree Rockstar in the theaters.
And then finally, Yuri, for whatever reason, never-ending, heart-throbbing, pitter-patter, paradox eternal.
That's my favorite.
Season 2? Did you watch? Hold on. Do you got 5 minutes? Yuri.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm telling you, we had it dialed in with Dawson's Creek and 90210.
Okay, finally, people revealed the disgusting things their partner does, and this is all about girls saying what their guys do. Oof. Any women out there, your guys do this, leave them immediately. First one, he pees in the laundry sink.
What?
It's a dirty. I'm guessing because it's a dirty sink. Like it's that big ass sink that you just
can't walk to the bathroom.
No,
it gets worse here.
Well, like Jennifer was, she didn't know I had established a pee corner in the backyard. Like
what?
she was,
Go ahead.
Well, no, I mean there's
It's like a distinct smell in this
You
area.
become
of
an
the house.
outdoorsman.
No, I mean
Walking around barefoot,
if I'm out in the
golfing.
backyard and I don't have time to get inside, there is a corner of the
I
backyard.
don't have time to get inside. You just bitched about a guy peeing in a sink.
Yeah, but
Walk to the bathroom.
I
This is
assume
outside.
you chose one that is off view from neighbors. And
Absolutely,
such like that.
it's in the corner. Where the fence meets right there. Nobody can see anything.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. When I'm out at the pool, sometimes I'll go
Yeah,
behind.
you
the,
gotta have a pee corner. Everybody's got a pee corner. Jim.
I know where LT's is. It's behind the outdoor fireplace.
Yeah. But I mean, look, that's,
we all know that.
But
I've
to
used
me,
that
that's
one. Yeah.
not disgusting.
Yeah.
This next one, how about this? He goes number 2 with the door open and tries to talk to me while doing it.
Nope.
I had a friend in high school. I think we were in 10th grade, and he had an older brother that was 2 years older than us. And I remember nobody was home, so I went upstairs. Their bedrooms were close together. They shared a bathroom. And I asked if he was here, and he's like, "No, I'm in the bathroom." I hit the door, but I was like, "Oh my god!" And he's like, "No, come tell me what y'all are doing tonight." I was like, "No, just come talk to me." No,
I promise you, high school baseball games occasionally we'd go to those schools that would have multiple toilets and no stalls,
no door,
just sitting there like we were in prison.
Yeah.
People reveal the disgusting things their partner does. He does the scratch and sniff all the time.
Oh, well, I don't understand that.
it's part of your body.
But why do I need to know if it's?
Now the final two, these would be. If this is the Wild Wild West, I think your partner gets shot.
Okay.
He leaves his Band-Aids, used Band-Aids, wherever he takes them off.
No, throw them in the trash.
Can you imagine peeling one off his big toe and just
throw
throwing it on the coffee table?
Why?
Oh, it just came off and I forgot to throw it away.
He's disgusting. Yeah. And then finally cuts his toenails in bed.
Oh, negative.
You might as well walk on the beach and just jump right in.
I mean, complete animals, these people.
There's a good chance LT will rescue your dog if you're doing any of those things, right?
Yeah, probably so. Hey, if you're looking for a new home, our friends at Mortgage Right here to help. Whether you're a first-time buyer, seasoned home buying veteran, their great service and low rates make the process so easy. So remember, whether you're looking for your final home or your first home, whether you have a big down payment or need 100% financing, our friends at Mortgage Right are here to help. 205-900-7200, NMLS 2239, Equal Housing Lender.
Unbeaten Birmingham Stallions, another home game. The UFL.com. We'll talk to Skip Holtz coming up. The show being brought to you by JohnsonRVCenter.com. Brownie, tell us about Nick and the guys.
It is I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, and they have repriced both those lots. So confident their pricing is the best in America. They give you a nationwide price guarantee. Bring them a price on a comparable RV anywhere in the nation, and they will beat it at Johnston RV Center. They love the military the way we do on this show. Whether you are active duty or retired, a veteran, you have made the United States the greatest country in the universe, and they thank you. Very small way of saying thank you. With a great discount. I-65, exit 304 in Coleman, 334 in Decatur, always online, JohnstonRVCenter.com.
Call the next round now at 205-734-0923.
Man, I love a good meal. I'm Jim Dunaway. A good meal is what you get with my friend Sterling at Champy's Chicken on Highway 119 in Alabaster. We're talking great southern fried chicken, wonderful sides, hand-cut chicken fingers, po' boys, and those Mississippi Delta recipe tamales. You got a perfect menu for everybody. Champy's Chicken is perfect for watching the big game, or taking a meal to the lake house, down to the coast, or stay in the restaurant and dine in a great atmosphere. It's all made fresh to order right there on 119 in Alabaster, Champy's Chicken.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about my friends at Michelson Laser Vision, located conveniently UAB Highlands. Almost 20 years ago, I went in for the procedure. Only took 12 minutes for both eyes. When I went in, I had 2200 vision. I was legally blind. Now I have 20/15 vision, still 19 years later. Make the call today. Schedule a hassle-free consultation. 969-8100. Dr. Mark Michelson, Dr. Jen Michelson, Michelson Laser Vision. Make sure you tell them the next round sent you. 969-8100 or MichelsonLaserVision.com.
You never know what we're up to here at the Next Round. The easiest way to stay in the know with our antics and adventures is to follow the Next Round across all social media platforms at Next Round Live on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. Whether it's Dunaway sleeping in the studio, Tim and Lunsford breaking down the latest movie release, or Game Day Chronicles, we are here to keep you updated on the latest sports news while, of course, having just a little bit of fun. Follow at Next Round Live across all platforms to join in.
Stop by the New York Butcher Shop and pick up the finest in certified Angus prime beef steaks and burgers, premium pork chops, ribs, and all-natural chicken cut to order just for you. Their chef-prepared entrees and side dishes are the perfect dinner-to-go choice for your family and are ready to heat at home. With a great selection of fine wines and desserts, the New York Butcher Shop is your one-stop dinner shop. 2 locations to serve you, Cahaba Heights and on Highway 119 in Greystone. The New York Butcher Shop. Rare quality, well-done service.
When on YouTube, you constantly hear requests to please like and subscribe. Well, here at Disrupt Media, we aren't going to play that game. Those demands are frankly outdated. So we just want you to hit like or subscribe. It's like a choose-your-own-adventure novel. Pick a path, hit like, or hit subscribe. It's your call. We don't care which, just pick one. Or go to Roll Tide Pods and do it. Or War Damn Pods. Or the Disrupt Media YouTube channel. Or The Meltdown. Just make a decision and stick with it. Like or subscribe, the choice is yours.
Hey, Lance Taylor from the next round to tell you about our friends at Gutter Cap. Gutter Cap's that patented aluminum cover system that fits over most existing gutters to keep out debris and eliminate that gutter cleaning. It's backed with a lifetime warranty, almost 20-year service record right here in Birmingham. Stay off that dangerous ladder forever. 45% off the retail price now if you call guttercapbirmingham.com. Call my good friend Chris Stewart now, 205-823-2212. Cap it, don't snap it. It's Gutter Cap.
All right, unbeaten. We did the flex yesterday. Where 2 days ago when the Instagram account for the Birmingham Stallions sent out 365 days on the calendar since they lost. So if I'm doing my math, it's 367 days. Everyone after the win over St. Louis, from Sports Center to The Athletic and everyone in between, talking about the win streak that's now at 14 games for the Birmingham Stallions. They're back at home this weekend. TheUFL.com for tickets. TheUFL.com for tickets. 2 more regular season and then a playoff game at home thanks to this next guy.
Coach Skip Holtz, head coach, Birmingham Stallions, with us on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. Welcome in, Coach. How are you today?
I'm doing great today. You know, it's hard to be in a bad mood when you keep winning.
That's right. It cures a lot of ills. There's no doubt about it. Did this one, I know, listen, you coaches, you like to talk about every game having a life of its own. They're all the same, yada. I know that. This one had a different feeling for a lot of people around here because of how good St. Louis has been. A.J. McCarron's return to the state. Did you get a little different feeling in this game?
Without a doubt. I mean, there was a different feeling even during the course of the week. We can talk about, that we go through our process on Sunday and then Monday and Tuesday, Wednesday, the work days, Thursday, polish, Friday, travel. But no, there was a buzz in the air. And I think that's great. We call it, the circus, everything going on outside the lines. And you've got 2 teams that are, one had lost 3 games in 2 years or a year and a half, and one had lost 2 games in a year and a half. You have the 2 most winningest spring league football teams that are playing each other. So, yeah, there's going to be more circus around on the outside. But as a football team, where you try and keep your focus is what's going on in between the lines. And that's where I think coaches are constantly trying to keep their players' focus, not on the social media buzz, not on the presence, but the way we play, how we play between the lines. Because when you get focused on everything on the outside, it distracts you and takes you away from the things that are important or the things you need to focus on to be able to win.
It seemed like that game was in hand, and then Chris Garrett for the Battlehawks blocks a punt late. Where was your heart on that block punt? Typically something you don't see that late in the game.
No, and really something that never should happen. We've got to do a better job as a staff just coaching it up. I mean, it was not a big scheme. It was a day one installation. It was a stack, and they twisted. And, you do it every day, and yet we get out there, and that's the thing. You get into some of these big moments, and guys start trying to do their own things, and that's where we've got to do a little better job. But, my first thought was, are you kidding me? I mean, we're really going to make this close, and then the defense had to go out there, and they did a great job going 3 and out and ended the game.
I don't want you to give away any metrics or any of the data. But would you? It looks to me like John Chavis blitzes more than he doesn't blitz. Is that a fair statement? Do you like that about him?
I would say that is a very fair statement. And yes, I do like that about it because I think, what he does is he makes you operate with no air in your offense. I mean, you've got to operate under pressure. And I think everybody can go out on air and throw routes on air and block a 4-man front and those type of things. But you make people operate their offense under stress. And it's one of the great things for us as an offensive football team is getting that pressure so much during camp with everything that we do. You learn to operate under pressure. And so when everybody bails out and plays zone, really it's almost like, whew, okay, this is easier, rather than it getting harder on game day. And it's been one of the things we've talked a lot about. Right now we've been really successful on offense and on defense, but we get an opportunity to go against each other every single day. And all we do is keep making each other better, which is a good feeling to have as a coach.
How long have you known John, and how did that relationship start? How did he end up on this coaching staff with you?
3 years ago when the opportunity opened to put a staff together, when I first got hired, we didn't even have a team at that point. And so we were putting the staff together. I knew of John an awful lot, obviously, with his name in college football at LSU, at Arkansas, at Texas A&M. And then I had a number of coaches that had coached with him that I think an awful lot about, that I called and said, hey, tell me about John. And he said, oh, my gosh, if you could get him, it'd be a home run. And so John and I got on the phone and talked for about an hour, and it was something he was excited about. And the more we talked, the more excited I got about having him in charge of our defense with all the success that he's had and what he's done. And so hired him then. That was 2.5 years ago. And I think, obviously, we've been one of the better defenses in the league the last couple of years.
Skip Holtz is our guest, the head coach of the Birmingham Stallions on the JohnstonRVCenter.com hotline. I was watching your Memphis game a couple of weeks ago, and our buddy Tom Luganbill was on the call. And Lugs was talking about your quarterback, Adrian Martinez, and how, he struggled turning the ball over at Nebraska. He tried to get the fresh start at Kansas State. He didn't win that job. And Luganbill's like, to his credit, he's playing his best quarterback of his life right now. To what do you credit Adrian Martinez, the light coming on and him playing this type of quarterback? He's 10 touchdowns, 1 pick right now for you.
Yeah, well, I always say it, when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And I think with everything that Adrian's been through and maybe some of his frustrations there and his desire to get to the NFL and prove that he can play at that level, he's been like a sponge. He's been unbelievable. He is his buy-in factor. He's a complete professional in everything he does. He shows up. He's got his notebook, his pen. He's writing notes. He writes down everything. He is just a total pro in the classroom. And the same thing out on the field. He goes through a routine, what he does every day to get loose, to get warmed up. It is a by the book. He is very structured. And we've just tried to put him in a really structured offense. And he's really done a nice job with it. I think he's enjoying it. I think he likes what he's doing right now. He's buying into it. He's seeing himself having success, and he's like that. Okay, what else do we need to do? Okay, what else can I do? How do I do this? How do I do? And he is a very willing student right now. He's a very easy player to coach. He's a joy to coach. He's one of the reasons that I have loved this league so much in professional ball, is having the opportunity to work with people like that whose their why is so strong on why they want to improve and why they want to get better. And that's the thing I love about coaching, is having the opportunity to develop players. So he's been a joy to work with.
Hey, growing up in a football family, I know you jumped around a lot. This is a random question. What do you remember most after your dad left NC State to take the Jets job? Did you guys actually move to New York City?
We did. Moved to New York City, lived out in Huntington Beach, Lloyd Harbor area, out on Long Island. 7th grade, I went to Cold Spring Harbor High School that year. I remember having the opportunity to work at Hofstra University during training camp with the Jets. Joe Namath was on that team, Ed Marinaro, just a lot of really quality football players, and having the opportunity to work with those guys. Richard Todd, a quarterback from Alabama. It was a very memorable time for me in the 7th grade, having the opportunity to hang out with many of my idols, but even more so off the field. Having the opportunity to grow up in New York out on Long Island was a great experience for me. But we did move around a lot. I thought we were running from the IRS forever. But then you realize Dad was just a football coach, and that's what football coaches do. They move around a lot. So it was a great experience. I wouldn't trade my childhood or the way I grew up for anything.
Well, we've loved watching what you're doing right now, Coach. You just keep winning games, and we hope you keep doing that in Birmingham. We appreciate the time. Good luck this weekend.
I appreciate it, guys, and thank you to everybody that came out last weekend to make last weekend so electric, as you talked about. I encourage everybody, bring a friend this week. Bring a friend. Let's let this thing keep growing.
Absolutely. Good weather. Go out and watch the game Saturday night at Protective.
Yeah, and we're being judged. We've got our own home games now, so come support Skip. He's putting the product on the field that's making the city proud, so go support it and show your love for him in these final 2 and then playoff game down the road. Let's try to win another championship. He's Skip Holtz. Thank you, Coach.
Thank you, Coach.
Good luck. The UFL.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. Y'all have a great day. Have a great day. Always enjoy following you.
Yeah, thank you.
TheUFL.com, TheUFL.com. Go get your tickets now, and they're honoring local heroes there. You buy that package, you get a camo hat honoring local heroes with the Birmingham Stallions this weekend. 7 o'clock prime time against the Houston Roughnecks. It's professional football, so nothing's a given, but it'll be Stallions will be a heavy favorite in this one. We'll put it that way. 7 o'clock Saturday night.
Yeah.
All right. Interesting conversation with Skip Holtz there. All right, Brownie, real quickly, any TV times or any NFL schedule leaks or anything that you think are noteworthy here? Again, our friends at Bud Light, easy to drink, easy to enjoy, bringing you our great show here. We love them so much.
I just don't know how they've got anything left to announce once they get to the actual announcements because
talking about the NFL?
Yeah, I mean, Vikings-Packers, September 29th is a Week 4 game in Green Bay. It's like, and I don't follow people from every NFL market, but I'm seeing these people retweeted, like all these local, somebody in the team leaks this to these people, obviously, for some reason.
I'm waiting until after the show, but there's a couple of people I follow for the Buccaneers. I bet some of this stuff is leaking out as I speak for the Bucks as well.
Yeah.
By the time like I said to start the show, by the time we get there tonight,
you'll know it.
We'll know the whole schedule.
Yeah, I mean, the NFL lets some of their partners leak stuff, like NBC, that first game. They let Netflix make the announcement today that they've got the Christmas games, though they didn't say which games they were. They let Fox leak that first game that Tom Brady is going to be on, the Cowboys and the Browns. They let ESPN leak their first Monday Night Football game. Now the NBC Thanksgiving night game is leaked out with Dolphins and Packers. It takes, to me, guys, it takes the air out of this whole NFL schedule. I look forward to this NFL schedule release just to see who my team plays, but it kind of takes the air out of it. All the important games are announced.
I don't know how you have to leak this.
Yeah, I don't either, Lance. I mean, I would feel like it would be better if the NFL told all their partners, okay, you're not leaking anything anymore.
That's right.
We are making the first announcement. People will find out that first Thursday night game at the same time.
Yeah, in fact, you're not even going to know now. We're
right.
putting you all in the penalty box. We're not even going to tell you, so you can't leak it.
You can tell me which game you want, but we're not telling you if you got it. You'll find out when we announce the schedule.
We're going to save you from yourself.
Yeah.
You're not even going to know are we going to put out a fake one and then come back and blow everybody's mind?
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's like so much gets leaked. By the time that show comes on, you don't know like 5 games your team's playing.
Nick says Chiefs, Steelers, Ravens, Texans will be Christmas. I don't like that slate.
Is that? I mean,
I don't know. That's pretty good.
That's
now that I go
good.
back,
especially if the Chiefs are at Pittsburgh and the Ravens are at the Texans.
Yeah,
those are hella games.
That's 2 Netflix games. Keep in mind those are streamed live on Netflix.
You just went hella games.
That's pretty good football there.
Yeah,
I'll take that.
All right, Saints Packers Monday Night Football Week 16. Says Keith.
So that's what I'm saying, man. It's almost impossible to keep up with all the leaks right now.
Yeah. Oh, there you go. Nick's right. Netflix, Taylor Swift.
Oh yeah, the Chiefs being anytime there's like a new streaming partner, the Chiefs are going to play that game. You can rest assured.
Would you be shocked if Taylor Swift has a Christmas special released right after or before?
One bit.
It's beginning to look a lot like. That's our show today. Don't forget all the other podcasts, Uncorked, the Pennant Grace, the Meltdowns, 2 o'clock today. I'm on that with them, playing a little trivia. War Down Pods, Roll Tide Pods. Go like, subscribe, all that stuff. We're back with you tomorrow at 9 a.m. Central. Until next time, God bless you and God bless America.
Jim Dunaway,